cultural relevance.
Yeah, but Shaq
You
and Kobe.
cannot. No, you cannot leave
AI.
Allen Iverson out of
Okay,
that.
but I'm saying
Yes.
if you talked
That's
about celebrity, Iverson's coming in 3 in that.
No,
3.
he's not.
He
You
is.
got to
He's
be out
coming
of
in
your
3.
mind.
The
There's no
2
chance.
biggest names were
Max.
Shaq and Kobe.
No,
Iverson's
Max.
in that category. He was bigger than Duncan in terms
Max,
of fame.
are you
but
kidding me, man?
Listen, that's how it is.
Okay. Who did people rather be like? Kobe or Allen Iverson?
It's not the point.
It is the point.
It's not the point.
What you how is it not the
Shaq
point?
Were more famous. They were bigger
How can you
deals.
The
say
combo
that?
of those
They
two
were
are more famous.
Yeah, and
than
then
Iverson.
then they were on the same team.
But here's what I'm trying to explain to you. There is a difference.
I love AI, but I'm just got to tell
Do
you.
you know the effect that Allen Iverson had on the
question.
NBA? You
No-
can't. No, there is a question.
No question. But
Why do
you would
let me
never
just
say, you would not say in that time, if you had to say who are the 2 biggest stars in the NBA, the 2 biggest stars were Shaq and Kobe. Those are the 2
Allen
biggest
Iverson,
stars.
man. And I listen, you know my
I think
love
that's
for,
a cultural thing.
You know
though,
my
because
it is a cultural
I
thing.
do think
yeah.
there's a part of America that did not like Allen Iverson.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but
but
even
I
if
can
you
only
don't
speak
like
from
him,
my
but he's-
seat.
But he's that can increase his fame. His notoriety can increase.
I
his
wrote
would
about
say-
when I would pick
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check. Let me see. Mic check, mic check, mic check. I do this once an episode, and it's low-key getting embarrassing. But as I was saying, I think you guys can hear me. Yeah, I'm back. It's been a week and a half since I streamed. Just got back from Florida. Entered Ohio, Canada wildfires, which we'll talk about. We'll get into all that. But again, I want to get the interactions up. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, I'm on multiple different platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. The video had sound. You just couldn't hear you. Okay. Yeah, it was my mic. So I appreciate that. Thank you. But here we got, so you guys heard the opening, Rich Paul, and he at the end here said, I can only speak from my vantage point or something like that. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Everybody usually speaks from, not everybody usually speaks from their perspective, but most times people are speaking from their own perspective, their own side. But when you're he's kind of debating them on who's kind of the most famous, and he's speaking with authority. And then he goes back and said, I can only speak from my vantage point. It's like, yeah, that's what they're fucking trying to tell you. So sometimes you should shut the fuck up and listen. Let's finish it.
when I'd steal tickets from my dad when I lived in Boston, season tickets, Iverson was like one of the must. I want to go see him in person. There's nothing like this.
Yeah.
This
But
little
here's-
5'10"
but
guy.
here's what I would say
strutting
to you.
around, bullying
Yeah, the
everybody.
greatest athlete on
It
earth.
was
pound
just
for pound.
unbelievable.
If you're doing this, if you're saying Shaq and Kobe is one
Yeah.
item, and then the second guy is Allen Iverson,
Yeah.
I will give you that. But it's very hard to put anybody in front of Allen Iverson, and these guys will say it. Let me tell you why. Cornrows, tattoos, jewelry,
Yes.
hip hop,
Yes.
style.
Yes.
Allen Iverson brought all these things to the NBA.
Sir.
Nobody, you think people wanted to dress like who? Name one person that they wanted to dress like outside of Allen Iverson. Name one person outside of Michael Jordan whose name was mentioned
AI
in
hit in the streets harder, but
Yeah, Max is right. Max is right. And AI was that guy. People got AI fucked up when people was comparing. And in fact, I think AI is almost underrated these days. Now, granted, he's never gone on to win a championship or anything like that, but AI was that guy. He was a partial face of the NBA. I mean, people like we got this revisionist history that is like, you know, I understand that when it was all said and done, Kobe, Duncan, Shaq ran the 2000s, right? LeBron, Dirk, all them. But like people forget there was a solid 6-year period, I would say 4 to 5 year period where AI was a figurehead in this space, right? So I agree with Rich Paul in that sense, but I totally disagree with him being so absolute on him trying to say that he was above everybody. I more so lean with Bill, and because we got to understand, guys, like the world exists outside of the 5 boroughs in New York and the places in Philly. I understand it, but that's culture, right? That's culture. And I understand that most of the times culture resonates so hard and it's so impactful that it usually breaks through the boat. I do understand that. And Allen Iverson was one of those cases. I think Allen Iverson, Mike Vick, those are some of the most recent examples. They had that same kind of cultural influence that a Jay-Z or a Tupac would have, or I'm trying to think of different fields. You know, they come from the neighborhoods, they speak to the streets, you know what I'm saying? So they carry that impact. People did dress like AI. People did dress like Mike Vick. People, you know, the style, the fashion in the NBA is all the tattoos, you know, the arm sleeves, all of that is Allen Iverson. So I'll give him that. But I just hate when he speaks so matter of fact. That's what drives me crazy.
Globally, Shaq and Kobe
Okay,
were bigger.
he had white America wearing cornrows and headbands.
Globally, he just wasn't like I love AI.
No one was
I don't want to
global.
argue. Listen,
That's wrong. Now that's just wrong. Okay, Terry's having a good old time. That's just wrong. Just stop. First off, my whole issue is I can't stand Rich Paul being on this podcast. I never liked it from the jump. I would never like it. You know, I just think that and players have come out and spoken about it, how they think it's kind of, especially former players, like it's a little bit distasteful. I mean, you got an NBA agent that really represents a whole agency firm in Clutch Sports, basically a mouthpiece for LeBron, an extension of LeBron's empire. And he sits around on podcasts along with many other LeBron proxies that he got in the media, JJ Redick, Steve Nash, Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And in fact, a lot of what you're seeing in the sports world, and we'll get to the LeBron decision next. A lot of what you're seeing in the sports world is stemming from this whole kind of civil war that you got going on between sports media, right? And I think we're at a stage where we could say sports media is as weak as it's ever been that I can remember. I come on this platform all the time and tell you guys how when I remember growing up, especially in the early days. I'm talking about when I was a kid. The way they covered different sports was way less tabloid talk, way less like we live in AD, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, First Take, right? We live like post their influence. We're like right in the dead soup of what they kind of created with this whole debate culture to where, I mean, you know, that was a thing in sports media, and it was really, really big, especially from, I would say, around 2010 to around 2016. That whole era, the whole GOAT debate, First Take debate, Nick Wright, all those shows that kind of stemmed from First Take, it was a really, really, really big thing, and it was really, really fun. But then it kind of it's chewed gum at this point. It's very chewed gum. So now you got a lot of LeBron's proxies in the media, like your Rich Pauls, your JJ, just the extension of the LeBron Clutch Sports camp. You know, Gilbert. I mean, everybody always accuses LeBron of paying somebody off in the media, right? And that's just not my conspiracy. I will say I've been saying it longest. I've been telling you guys longest that he was doing shit like that. But I would say it's a common known thing that he does that, right? So Rich Paul, just cut it out. And in the second clip that we're going to play, I mean, he's going to talk a little bit about LeBron's decision or lack thereof, the non-decision that we're dealing with now with LeBron. And it's just like, man, I think they're doing way more damage to his legacy than not, just by having these lackeys and Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson called him, what did he call him? Posse, LeBron's posse, and he got killed for that. They called Phil Jackson, that old man, every name under the book for that. All because he called LeBron's team posse. which might have had a little bit of undertones of racism in it. I mean, it's Phil Jackson, though. And then the other thing, Phil Jackson said that the Black Lives Matter thing on the court looked tacky during COVID, during the bubble. And he was right and exact. You know what I mean? Now, I was calling for a boycott of the NBA and all that shit, and telling them to not finish the season. But, I mean, the thing we have to get to, guys, is I say this all the time. And now I'm going to throw us a little leeway when I say this. But we have to stop being so sensitive all the time and listen to what people are saying directly. Sometimes people are saying something, but we don't like the sender. We don't like the messenger. We don't, that's coming from a white man. He better not say that to me. And we're not really listening to the content of what they're saying. All right. So again, like I said about the Phil Jackson thing, people kind of thought there was racist undertones to what he said. So instead of listening to what he was saying when he was writing his act, the shit on the court looked tacky. And it wasn't just the Black Lives Matter logo on the court. It was the shit on the jerseys. It was Adam Silver's. He was talking about Adam Silver's logos and stickers, YouTube TV, Skims, all the sponsorships that's on the fucking court now that look fucking tacky. And guess what? Phil Jackson was right and exact. So I think we're all just tired of clutch sports in general, like LeBron's people in the media. They just get so exhausting. I think a lot of the conversation with this Rich Paul thing was just like, would this guy shut up? It's like once a week, he's always just saying shit. Now, Allen Iverson was number one in the league as far as popularity, which I'm not mad at the take. You can make the case. Many people have made the case. I was there in real time. There's some validity to what he's saying. Allen Iverson was on the cover of Mad 2Ks and NBA Lives or NBA, I can't remember. It was 2Ks and ESPN, the ESPN game. And Allen Iverson did wear the culture on his sleeve. I mean, getting his hair braided during the game, half braid, half singles, and then the furrow, all the shit, the arm sleeve, everything. The list goes on and on. So he has some validity in what he's saying. I think people are just tired, again, of the messenger. And it's just like, Rich Paul, shut the fuck up. And just at the end of the day, just shut up. We're tired of hearing from him.
People always ask me, like, in what other sport do you see a guy who could have been the best fighter, the best boxer? And you never know how a guy takes a punch. But my answer is always AI, because he's like 6 feet tall.
All right, and that's where Max started doing his dumb shit. And that's why you got kicked off ESPN, Max. You annoying too. Max is annoying. But here's what I really want to get to, okay?
I'll say it again. None of these people know anything. Nobody knows nothing. And I say that respectfully because we haven't made it to where anybody knows anything.
But let me take your temperature on something.
Sure. But let me finish first.
Okay,
let me finish. So I think it's important for people to understand we're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and decide or allow someone else to decide when he makes that decision or that choice. It's a business choice that he's making. And I think as an athlete, why is it that an athlete has to rush his choice?
Okay, I want to answer that.
Because from a business perspective, you were making a choice between jobs, high-level jobs, and you've earned the right. You're a big-time executive that's with an unbelievable, arguably the best resume in the history of your job. Who's rushing you?
Okay.
Nobody. I'll say.
I mean, how do y'all feel about that? I mean, the thing is, I've always seen both sides, right? I understand the game that Clutch Sports is playing. Let's just cut the shit, right? They're from the Jay-Z, they're from the Rock Nation tree. I told you guys that. Hove told you guys, and God did, who created more billionaires than Hove. Bron, he named Bron, he named Riri, he named Jay, and he named B. All right, so we know he's, and in fact, I mean, we're also seeing that, right? You got Drake and LeBron's whole kind of tit for tat going on right now because of LeBron kind of siding with the Jay-Z alliance with Rock Nation. You see LeBron James shaking ass in New York at the Yankee Stadium a few weeks ago at the Jay-Z concert, right? Making it all about him. But I say that to say I've always understood both sides of what Clutch Sports is playing, right? They want LeBron to be looked at as a businessman. He's a shrewd businessman. He got this agency that, we're talking about with Clutch Sports. He's a billionaire. He's made great investments over his career. He's kept his image squeaky clean through the media. He plays the media games right? So I understand exactly what they're doing. So from that aspect, I hear Rich Paul. The problem is you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's always been my crux, all right? They want to have their cake and eat it too, and you can't. So on one hand, that can be true. Y'all can be operating in that space and y'all can be doing a damn good job at it. But in the space of when we're talking about stone cold killers, real authentic basketball players, just players that we, the people's champion, popularity, the people's choice. This is why Kobe always will reign supreme. And even Michael Jordan will reign supreme, because Michael Jordan, although he plays these same games, I told you guys, Michael Jordan is the zenith of that pyramid, of that peak. It goes Jordan's kind of entourage and his whole apparatus, how he did it. Then it's Jay-Z, then it's Bron, right? And you can argue your Mayweathers, your Kobe's, your other different athletes, right? That, made it up all the way to the top. We talk about big money in their whole kind of media image. However, the thing is, LeBron, they doctored you up so much in your career. And then I would say within the last 6 years, it's been like, blown hole after. I mean, Rich Paul and Maverick, I've been saying, I don't even know how Rich Paul is doing the fucking podcast because how many fires he has to put out. In fact, that's why they sent him to these podcasts. That's why LeBron has all these lackeys in the media right now. It's because they're putting out so many fires left and right of LeBron saying the wrong thing, LeBron trying to trademark Taco Tuesday, that flopping, LeBron flipping and flopping over the chairs, him being known as the flopper, LeBron narrative of him getting his teammates traded, PED allegations. It's been like hole after hole. They've been playing whack-a-mole the last 6 years with LeBron, right? And now we're at the stage where a lot of people, I said about it, the chew gum, right? It's just old chew gum with LeBron, bro. I think more so people are just ready to get it on. Like, just announce where you're going, dog. It's not this serious. And you're trying to, use all this leverage to show the NBA. Like, dog. We get it. The league is going to miss you, LeBron. You do not got to be this insecure to try to teach us a lesson of how bad your presence is going to be missed. So you're trying to slow down the decision and hold up the NBA schedule, and you got Adam Silver sucking dick left and right. If I'm Adam Silver, I'm just scheduling. I'm making the schedule. Matter of fact, LeBron, if I'm Adam Silver, any team that you're considering is not playing on Christmas. That's how I give it up. Cavaliers, Lakers, Miami, Minnesota, you're all blacklisted from Christmas. You aren't getting any Christmas game just for being in bed with LeBron James. Golden State, you too. Now I know that's unrealistic, right? We're talking ratings and shit, but that's just how I give it. I'm moving out of spite like that. Him thinking that he's going to just hijack the NBA season, dog, bro. This fucking farewell thing that he's going to do is going to be the most miserable 2 years of everybody's fucking life. You hear me? The most miserable 2 years of everybody's fucking life is going to be LeBron's 2-year farewell thing that he did. Because he's going to drag it out like this. He's going to be super, super, super unbearable. You got Skip Bayless and Stephen A. and everybody in the media calling him the most drama queen. I've been telling you guys he couldn't live with his oxygen was attention. I've been saying that. He literally cannot breathe without getting attention. He even does the little small dick energy thing where somebody else breaks a record and he has to tweet him. He has to make it about him and associate himself with that person. Curry scores 60 points and here's LeBron dick sucking him. It's like, dog, let somebody's moment be their moment, bro. And when it's your moment, don't be so dramatic. Didn't you learn anything from the decision? That was another big fire that your team had to put out, and it ruined your legacy. The decision alone. Not even when you went to Miami and flipped and flopped and lost 2 finals, dog. The decision itself was a misstep. You've admitted it. Rich Paul has admitted it. The decision itself, and then here you go with the decision part 2, and it's the non-decision. It's like, bro, save us the fucking stress and the time. Like, brother. So yeah, I don't know what y'all think, or where y'all care that LeBron goes. Anybody got any fucking idea where the man's going? How do y'all feel about him just dragging the decision out? I seen a little tracker that said this is the longest it's taken LeBron. I think we're at like day 32. Like they got some tracker counting how long it's taken for him to make the decision. You know, usually free agency starts like July 1st, I think. And LeBron usually makes a decision by my birthday, the 8th, right? Or the 10th, maybe. But a decision is usually made. This time, now you got reports coming out that he was going to make a decision last week, and he was irritated by Adam Silver's comment. Like, dude, give it a fucking break, bro. I love that he's going to have to sign for the minimum, not the vet minimum. He's going to have to sign for a minimum contract. I love that. This is what I'll save this tape. I'll save this tape for another stream, but y'all keep an eye on this. You know, LeBron signing for the minimum is going to be an interesting story. Because if y'all think that I don't think that these owners are offering, like we seen what happened with Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers. Hello. We seen what happened, you know, Steve Ballmer and them boys. And all the little money laundering tricks that they try to do to get Kawhi. I've been telling you, Kawhi is fleecing the whole league. Kawhi is the biggest player in all that. He's fleecing the whole league. Kawhi Leonard literally plays 20% of the games, gets his full money guaranteed, all his millions of dollars, barely shows up. That's raw. I know a guy that barely works and gets paid all that money, man. I know a guy. It must be nice, Kawhi. But yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see LeBron with the minimum or getting the minimum and see if Dame Gilbert or, Usher, I don't know, whoever's dealing with. Miami's definitely a big player in this, right? You got Pat Riley. Who's going to check Pat Riley if he's throwing LeBron some extra money on the ones? You know what I'm saying? Nobody. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Does LeBron go to Miami? Does he go to Cleveland? Does he go to Minnesota? Does he go to Golden State? And just how tired of y'all of the whole LeBron saga. Because, you talk about being tired. I'm tired, brother. I'm tired. What y'all want to get into next? Let me get on my page. Okay, we got some Mamdani talk. We got any? Y'all want to talk Nolan Wells? See if I can find any. Okay, my God.
You're a fucking lying son of a bitch, Sam. Right? And I hope you fucking go to hell.
Don't make things worse, George.
Shut the fuck up, Millie.
All right, so I guess TMZ has released a video with the Nolan Wells situation of the group boat in a dock, or their boat on a dock before the Horn Island. I don't really know what this is.
The boys were here.
Oh, no. Brandon Tatum, I'm out. Brandon Tatum, I'm out. Dog, I'm so sick. I don't know if you guys know anything about Brandon Tatum, but this guy literally opposes everything that we're supposed to be for. He's so annoying, and he's just we know he's a pick me. He's literally a pick me. He tried. Dog, I don't even got the energy. I really do. I didn't even got the energy. Let's hear what Officer Brandon Tatum has to say. I really don't even got the energy today.
The people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. The video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore, it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan.
Okay, so that's Dick Sucker Officer Brandon right there, basically saying that this newly released video of them loading up the boat on the dock, showing the certain friends that were there. Also, this whole idea that Nolan Wells was found, because there's disputing or conflicting stories on whether he was found shirtless or whether he was found with his clothes fully clothed, which I think would be a good indication of some different type of things, right? If he's found fully clothed, no phone, fully clothed, only one left behind, that's a little bit interesting, right? Shirt off obviously would indicate that he may or may not have jumped in. But I mean, the Brandon Tatum thing, he's the guy we want furthest reporting from this case. Brandon Tatum, dog, go back to Griff Island and leave us alone. We got it. You got Ben Crump on the thing. I just feel like the CIA was so much better a few years ago. I miss the CIA from 10 years ago, guys. I'm so bored. I'm so exhausted from some of these different psyops that they're pulling. Now, I'm not trying to call this a psyop, but I'm just saying when you got the grifters, Hunter Biden, Brandon Tatum, you got Ben Crump, Al Sharpton involved, the NAACP involved. I'm not calling these people grifters. I'm just saying some of the extensions of Griff Nation is starting to get involved in this case. When you nationalize a case like this, and it kind of has the whole nation going back and forth on the who did it. I shared something a few days ago on social media. I'm like, man, it was a picture of Nolan Wells' best friend, and he looked like Will from Stranger Things. And I'm just like, dog, I'm exhausted. This shit is turning into Stranger Things season 4. And it's very tiresome. Everything's so tiresome. But what we got here again is Brandon Tatum saying that he's fully clothed here, which is again would be very interesting. But I think the big news out of the Nolan Wells situation right now is the fact that Ben Crump they did the independent autopsy this past week, right? And because there's the official one, and the parents are looking for more information. They want to, and I'm not mad at these parents. A lot of people out there, they're facing a lot of criticism and a lot of pushback because a lot of people, who are just saying that they got black fatigue. I'm telling you guys, this is really this whole apparatus that we're dealing with. Still, thing about the extremists on both sides, right, and the tit for tat shit we going on, right? So a lot of people that got black fatigue are saying, here they go trying to race bait and race hustle, trying to make this a black. No foul play, right? That's their side. Black people are like, dog, Kendrick Johnson, Carmelo Anthony, Trayvon Martin, the list goes on and on, right? Of, innocent black teens or, just that whole apparatus in general, right? The Kendrick Johnson thing, which I think we got an update a few months ago about that situation, which was some of the wildest shit, rolled up in a mat, no organs gone, and don't nobody got questions for niggas, right? It's ruled suicide. And it's like, come on, bro. Those are just slaps in the face. So on the other side, you got black paranoia. Which is legit. Both sides is legit. Fuck it. Let's talk about it. Both sides is legit. We may be paranoid, so we might be accusing every little step of the way. But that's crossing our T's and dotting our I's. I'm not mad at it, and I'm gonna be paranoid every time. I just, I just left Florida and I have my location shared with every fucking body, and I don't even share my location. I found out how to share my location. You know what I'm saying? For the trip, because I'm like, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I roll. I'm always walking around with a little bit of that, being aware of circumstance and situational awareness. I think it's what you got to do, or you might end up like Nolan Wells. God rest his soul. You know what I'm saying? Everybody told y'all in the community, everybody told y'all what was wrong with this whole situation. Step one, they're like, nah, boat, Horn Island, or whatever, that it is. Boat and trip, all white friends. You the only nigga. Wrong. Step one. All right. Then you get the missing phone or the phone, and then that's where everybody raises an eyebrow like, nah. And we try and tell y'all like, nah. He said, boy, let me bite my tongue. So that's when you join in. When I talk about Florida, really, that's when you join in. You ain't got nothing else to say. Y'all see what I mean? That's why I share my location. You ain't gonna get me. But everybody's just like, dog. The situation already raises eyebrows, right? And it already was a big conversation in the community about people talking about like how do you approach your kids with these preconceived ideologies, you know, that you're like, damn, do I really want to pass this traumatic ideology down to my kid and have them walking around paranoid? All right. I mean, and each community does it, right? And it's part of stereotyping. It's part of racial history. It's part of ambiguity. It's a part of, I think, a piece of us that kind of is ingrained, right? And they've even tested this in different DNA strands that PTSD and stuff like that can be literally passed down through your genome. Even, you know, that's why it's really important when someone is nursing a child to eat the right food, and also kind of not be stressed and different things like that, because it has a major effect on that child. So these, when you talk about these different stories, the Kendrick Johnsons and stuff like that, that stuff, that history or that tragedy and nightmare, honestly, that stuff is passed on down just naturally. Not to mention, you know, then you got the elders or older people then pushing the ideology onto the young as well and telling them these stories. Like, oh man, back in the 1800s, back in 1810, you're all Paul Sam, or, you know, whatever. He got by the, you know, them boys, right? And they lynched him and put him on the tree. Those stories are passed down through lineage and time. So, you know, there might be a sense of Black paranoia, but I asked everybody out there, does that not make sense? And is that not acquitted to us? Is that not something that is understood? You know what I'm saying? You got the Jews that dealt with the Holocaust going on 100 years ago. And, you know, they still walk around. In fact, that's where the term anti-Semitism comes from. You know, that is a term that they are used. That is a defense shield that they created. That term wasn't always around, but that term is then created to be used as a shield to prevent another Holocaust from happening, because it's such, you know, it's an event in their history that they will never allow us to forget, that they won't forget. And they walk around with that paranoia as well, right? That's why a lot of people give them the pass on acting the way that they do, because that they suffered that atrocity 100 years ago. So they're given that shield, right? But is it not to be expected for the same people? You know what I'm saying? Is Black paranoia not a thing that is understood or could be understood? I don't understand what is so hard about this concept. So, I mean, like I said, the Nolan Wells investigation or autopsy, independent autopsy, doesn't show no concrete evidence on either side, right? It doesn't really push the case forward. It doesn't move it back. They are going to do another one, because the one alarming thing that we've seen, let me see. I'm going to see if I can find it for you guys. Hold on. We're going to read this autopsy report. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Where's the autopsy report? But yeah, I gotta get off CNN. CNN is never the one to use. I'm gonna use AI mode. Y'all let me know if y'all can see it on the screen. We got it up. All right, so here we got it. Nolan Wells, the independent autopsy for 18-year-old. Okay. So here's the key findings and limitations from the independent autopsy. The red discoloration. The independent pathologist noted a focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue at the back of Wells' head. Pathologists have stated this could be a result from blunt force trauma, or it could simply be post-mortem change due to decomposition, right? So some can argue, you know, him from laying on the autopsy bed and the, you know, traveling of the body and the, you know, just the decomposition of the body itself can cause that, right? That I don't think that's well, especially, you know, you're talking about a victim that drowned. So you got soft tissue and stuff like that in the back of the head or wherever that may be. But it also can indicate blunt force trauma, which, you know, that can, you know, indicate. But it can also fail in his head or something, you know. But here's what kind of caused a little bit of uproar, and even I had to check myself, because when I first read it, I said, "See," I said, "Terrius, Get out of Puerto Rico. I said, that's that shit I'm talking about. Did Jordan Peele not make a movie about it? But here it is, missing organs. The second autopsy could not examine the hyoid bone, airway, or lungs to definitively rule out strangulation or check for water in the lungs to confirm drowning, as these structures were kept by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office during the first autopsy. And that's where the story gets interesting. I don't know if this is normal practice. I don't know if it's harder to transfer that back for the second autopsy, the independent autopsy, but it's very convenient that during the second independent autopsy, he doesn't have the pieces of organs that can indicate strangulation or check for water in the lungs, right? We're missing these organs. So allegedly his throat organs were missing, and I think something from the skull was missing as well. And I think the problem here, guys, is we might have acted too slow. I think that Ben Crump and the family should have immediately requested the findings of the first autopsy or the organs. Where the fuck are these organs? See, this is what I'm talking about, though. Call me crazy, but you know, when it's transferred back, or when we look into the organs now in a day or two or a week or two, is it going to be his organs? Are we going to know? Are those organs already on the black market? You know what I mean? Is this normal practice? Let's ask AI. We're gonna ask AI. Is it normal practice for this to happen? The missing organs. Let's see. I like these long language models. Yes, it is entirely normal and standard practice in forensic pathology. In the case of Nolan Wells, explicitly noted that keeping the internal throat and neck structures is a common. Okay, I understand that. When an initial autopsy warrants deeper investigation, the primary reason medical examiners legally withhold parts of the body during an active investigation includes specialized testing takes time. That's what I was talking about. It says, while most of the body's internal organs are routinely examined, weighed, and returned to the body cavity after the first autopsy, certain structures require advanced specialized testing that cannot be done. Or they got these niggas' organs, y'all. That's bottom line. They got these niggas' organs. It just is what it is. Nolan Wells family, I'm sorry to tell y'all, they got this man's organs. It was an organ. It was a shoe-in from the fucking start. When no motherfucking crackers seen that this nigga was getting ready to step on this boat and go to an island with nobody around, they said, I know a guy. I know a man that's looking for a heart. He has heart murmur issues. You know, his palpitations aren't working correctly. And it's actually my grandfather. It's my great-grandfather. I better go back and watch the coagula experiment on Get Out. That shit is real. It's real. In fact, do I need to pull up the Epstein? Let's pull up the Epstein thing. We can pull up the Epstein thing, because not only was Epstein doing that sick ass shit that he was doing, especially on Zorro Ranch, which we'll talk about too, but he also, you know, he was into eugenics, which we've talked about on this platform alone. He was heavily into eugenics and trying to find the superior DNA and all that kind of weird ass shit, right? You know, there's reports of him, you know, the baby factory, all of that shit. Not alleged by me. It's in the Epstein files, the legit files. But in that, I covered on here that he talked about, in one sense, in a couple of emails, he talked about why they didn't fly over black women and yada, yada, yada. But in another one, they talked about the gene editing and the black organ harvesting experiments that they were attempting to do. Don't believe me? Just watch. Epstein talks about black and he didn't talk about it like that. I'm basically equating to that's what he did. Okay, so here we go. No, that ain't what I'm looking for. That ain't what I'm looking for. I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. But yeah, Epstein in the list was definitely talking about this, right? And so, I mean, we know that there's a black market for this. I mean, it's the story as old as time. There's a black market for this, and I just think that it's at the very, very, very least, it's horrible timing for the organs to be the center of this second autopsy in this whole investigation. Guys, if you haven't known anything from the Nolan Wells case, guess what? Here's the takeaway right now as of July 2026. We're waiting on his organs to be returned so we can do testing on his organs. His organs are missing. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I'm just saying, at the very worst, it's horrible timing. With the whole country paying attention to it, our black paranoia that I talked about, white people having black fatigue, we are in the middle of them trying to figure out where his organs are. Isn't that raw? That's raw. So yeah, prayers to that family. I'm not mad at them. I would be everybody talks about what they would do for their loved one or their significant others or their offspring, their children, and how they would crash out, right? All his family is doing is crossing T's and dotting I's and making sure that it has been investigated to the high heavens as far as it can go if it has to go to the Supreme Court. We cannot be mad at them for making sure that it is very suspicious that their son is the only one that doesn't return home. Fucking being black. If you have a kid, I don't give a fuck what color he is. If you have a kid that goes on a boating trip with a whole group of friends and everybody returns and he doesn't return, you have a lot of questions for everybody involved. How my kid? Why my kid? How are you guys all feet on ground and my kid is floating? How? I want to know how. And then the conflicting story. There's a lot going on here. So again, my point is, I don't know. Did he fall? I'm not. Niggas can't listen, man. I can't swim that well, but I also don't. I wouldn't be on the back of some boat, and I damn sure wouldn't be telling my friends, "Go ahead, leave me on this island and take my phone while I was at it." Now we don't know how that ended up happening. I mean, we can even talk about the mom alleging that she feels like messages have been deleted. Or Snapchat memories have been deleted out of his phone. I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's horrible timing right now for this to be a center story right now. And I mean, a lot of people say it's just more rage bait. It's more race bait. Another one of the CIA goy slops that they're trying to pull to distract us from this mess that Trump got going on. But I'm just saying, I do know that family, the Wells family, did lose a son. I do know that, and I do know that I would be doing everything. I would be making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted as well, because it sounds fucking crazy. And where is this nigga's organs? Where is this nigga's organs? Where are they? Y'all can say they at the first autopsy, the pathologist is looking into it, special studies need to be examined. Well, if I'm the family, I need to say, matter of fact, if I'm the family, I wouldn't take my damn eye off them organs. And was this man an organ donor? Do we know? Matter of fact, we're going to see. Was he? Y'all ain't asking the right questions. I got it. I spelled it wrong, but don't worry about all that. No. Was Nolan Wells an organ donor? We're going to get to the bottom of this. I got it. Shit, let me do the damn investigation. No, Nolan Wells was not an organ donor. The missing throat, neck structure, blah, 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 blah. Wells was ineligible for organ donation due to circumstances of his passing outlined by boo. Oh, okay, yeah. I still say if I'm the family, I'll be at the damn coroner's office right now with a microscope glass or with a 24-hour surveillance camera on his organs the whole fucking time. Because y'all ain't about to kill my damn son and then take his organs. That's a damn slap in the face. And then send me on down to the funeral home with some big old bloated ass, embalmed ass nigga that don't look nothing like my son because y'all got his fucking all his organs. Give me his organs. Give me that shit. We gonna keep a close eye on that shit. So prayers to the Nolan family, man. I'm keeping my eye on this case. Y'all got Nancy Grace back on the case with it. I should have had the Nancy Grace queued up clip, but yeah, we're gonna see. We'll see how this turns out. Something to keep an eye on. All right, switching we're gonna talk Mamdani. We're gonna have Mamdani talk. Okay.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Hold on. What can y'all see? Got it.
Benjamin.
Hey, look at this. Mayor Zohran Mamdani, 304,000 and 1.3 million likes already, 90 million views.
Netanyahu
what are we talking about?
The architect of a horrific Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children, as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live, for the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them, for the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces. More than 8 months.
Cut it out, Mamdani. Okay, let's stop there. Now I told y'all on my platform, I mean, we've been covering Mamdani for a while, but I told y'all last episode, my grand Mamdani conspiracy, New York, NYC, Muslim takeover, Sharia law takeover, right? But no, on a serious note, here's one of the things that I talked about last week about Mamdani that kind of makes me raise an eyebrow. You know them people, you know, it's the good guy theory, right? You know, if you're sometimes as a guy, when you're with a girl or you're meeting a girl, this whole good guy thing, it gotta only last like a day or two. I mean, let's just be real. You can't be a good guy all throughout. You can't be too perfect because then it raises more eyebrows. It raises more suspicion. It's like, all right now. All right. And that with Mamdani, I told you guys, I got to see him slip and get back up. That's just me. I got to see. This is my man now. This is my man. This is my man. You know, he's doing call to prayer. You know, he's doing Junta celebration. He's practicing Ramadan. This is my man, right? He takes over New York. He does a banging ass campaign last year, take over New York. He's blitzing. He's doing rent freezes. He got the transits working. He's cleaning up New York left and right. He's tearing up landlords. He's tearing up big corporations. You know, he's Democratic socialist, right? Lane, where you at? And you know, on one hand, I like watching the fight. I like watching him put boots, feet, and asses to these boomers and these millenniums. They mad as hell. They can't stand Mamdani. Y'all should see the way they cover this man. You would think that Mamdani literally instituted Sharia law. You would think that Mamdani literally killed 73,000 people in Gaza. You would think he is dropping bombs out of the sky on Yemen 96 times. You would think he was stealing presidents down in Latin America, bringing them up and stealing their oil. You would think he is ripping up negotiations and sabotaging negotiations and peace deals and spying on American presidents and assassinating them. That's what you would think the way they cover this man. But no, that's just Netanyahu and Trump. That's them two crooks. But Mamdani here, he hasn't missed and they hate him. But my thing, I always told you, I'm too skeptical of the good guy. I got to see this nigga fall and get up. He got to fall and get up. He got to make a couple mistakes. I can't do this perfect shit, Mamdani. He's sitting at the desk looking all good, talking all perfect. No, speak in Arabic. Speak in Arabic. He needs to speak in Arabic.
After the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on.
See. I notice little shit like this. You see the way the camera zooms in. then it zooms out.
The list goes on and on.
Zoom out.
As we, as Americans, pay for the...
See, this guy, I'm telling y'all, I got my eye on you, Mamdani. You my guy. I'm rocking with you, but I got my eye on you because this is straight out of the Left Behind series. I done told y'all a million times. Y'all better watch Mamdani.
bombs that do the killing. There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity. Anyone, with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law.
I cannot believe this country. I really can't believe this country. He said, you're such a hater. Nah, Lane, bro, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You see, the thing is, Lane told me in private, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know all the girls that's loving Mamdani, people that don't give a fuck about politics is all into Mamdani. Everything is going, his sliders are on 99 right now. Mamdani's sliders are on literally 99. He hasn't missed. The nigga hasn't missed in over a year. Everything he's done is good. Everything. He hasn't missed. And then now you have him calling out Netanyahu. His slippings or bad guy shit was the 4th of July speech and the Nettie shit. Okay. The thing is though, Lane, the 4th of July shit only pissed off the people that is already pissed off with him, right? It didn't piss off the younger generation that are socialists. It didn't piss them off. It didn't piss off the young generation that are anti-capitalist. It didn't piss them off. It didn't piss off the young people that have a negative viewpoint on American history. It didn't piss them off because what he said was right and exact. It was just the timing in what he said it and how unpatriotic it was that he said it that pissed off the millenniums and the boomers. All right. So I don't know. I wouldn't consider that a slipping in what I'm talking about. Right. And then you said the Nettie shit. Right. That's what we're talking about here. I think, majority of the country, again, this is the most viewed video online right now. This is the most viewed tweet. It's sitting at, again, 300,000 and 1.3 million likes. And it's been the talk of the fucking news. He's bringing everybody out because he's basically saying that Netanyahu deserves to be arrested, which I don't even understand how this is some hot take. First off, I'm old enough to remember just 2 years ago, people were saying when he landed in New York, he should be arrested. Me and Hunter talked about this on one of the podcasts. We were like, man, we hope this motherfucker lands in the States and gets arrested. He's an ICC criminal. They've issued warrants out for his arrest. He's an international fucking criminal. He's killed hundreds of thousands of people, right? And it's just that the big bad USA who, doesn't want to abide to international rules all of a sudden, only when it benefits them, right? Only when it's against Gaddafi and other people like that should we, abide by international criminal courts rulings, right? But now that it doesn't suit us, and it's the first time, I think Netanyahu is the first time in the ICC's history that they issued a arrest warrant or charged them as a war criminal, somebody in the Western, hemisphere like that, right? That has allegiances with NATO. But I don't see how this is a hot take. Yeah, and now on one hand, I will say, Lane, a lot of people are upset at Mamdani because he promised this a couple years ago. In fact, this is what he campaigned on, if you guys remember. This is what I'm talking about. When Mamdani campaigned, his campaign was that, motherfucker, if Netanyahu stepped foot in New York, I was going to say Jalen Brunson size shoes, but that ain't good. That ain't big enough. I'm going to put Carl Anthony Towns size shoes up his ass. I'm going to put boots up in his ass, and he going to be arrested. That's what that's what he pitched New Yorkers. Now, New York done been on a 2-year fucking high. I don't know what the fuck's going on. LA's a mess. Canada's on fire, and New York has been blitzing. You got Jay-Z outside, Nas outside, Hip Hop 50. New York wins the fucking championship in 53 years. Jalen Brunson. New York fever's at an all-time fucking high all of a sudden. You got Mamdani, right? And I just think that it's not a hot take that he talked about getting him arrested. I mean, that's such a casual take. He should be arrested. Now, again, like I said, a lot of people are mad that he kind of walked his statement back because in this clip that we're watching here, he basically is talking about how, well, you know, on second findings and more investigation, I can't really get him arrested, but we really urge that the federal, the feds arrest him, essentially, right? Because he is an international criminal. But Trump's come out and said, nigga, please, like that, we're not arresting him. Are you crazy? This is my dad. I mean, he owns me. I told you guys last time, Netanyahu's coming back over to the States next month to collect. He's doing this. I mean, he's coming over in September again. The thing, I'm just so exhausted, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm exhausted with the Israeli lobby. I'm just exhausted because literally we pulled a cat out the bag 2 years ago, right? Cat's out the bag. Let's just be real. Cat's out the bag, right? And it's like, it doesn't even matter, bro. They're still able to manipulate. They're still able to drag us. Now you got us in the war with Iran, and Israel's coming out and saying, we love the position U.S. is in, and Israel done came out and said, we're not even fighting Iran. Y'all have fun with that. Got checkmate. Checkmate. This was their stance the whole time. They wanted to literally drag us in the war with Iran and have us do it for them. They have not been bombing. I mean, they've been doing a little shit here and there, but they have not had military excursions against Iran directly in about a month now. It's been strictly U.S. versus Iran, and we're full-fledged into the war. And somehow Israel's hands is wiped clean of it again, right? So you got Section 224 that gets passed, right, with the merge of military, intelligence and military funds and armament and stuff, where we're going to talk about that in depth, right? But I'll say that for the next podcast. We'll talk about that in depth. But it's just I'm exhausted because everybody's acting so shocked. It's like, yes, the international criminal should be arrested, and I understand that we live in America and we're supposed to back them no matter what. But like objectively, guys, how can y'all objectively say that this statement is false? He objectively should be arrested. He said, and Israel's the only country, in the area not getting hit. Weird as fuck. I know. Look, I'm losing viewers by the minute. I'm exhausted, dog. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. You know, they blackmailed the whole country. The Epstein thing. We're in the middle of the war. Trump got. Now he's trying to figure his way out. Israel's hiding their whole hand. Netanyahu's coming over again to do fucking what? I thought him and Trump was just beefing last time. It's just like, dog. So I told you guys the climax that we're headed to when it comes to all of this, right? It's essentially, I see it. You got Mamdani's going to get in some sort of power. You know, they try to box Mamdani out with the questioning. Let me see if I can find the questioning. Let me see if I can find it. Here you go. Let's watch this.
How's it going? So this morning I see that you called Zohran Mamdani a Muslim terrorist. How does saying things like that help your cause? I feel like it could really get under people's skin.
Look, the truth. We should always tell the truth.
It's the truth?
Sure.
Well, he's an elected official. He's the sitting mayor of New York.
Does that mean he's not a terrorist? So the guys who run Hamas, who sit in Qatar or Turkey, are they terrorists?
Well, how could you compare that to the sitting mayor of New York?
Because
what Zohran was saying is,
you're elected doesn't mean you're not a terrorist. So Zohran Mamdani gave a speech where he decried the killing of Muslim terrorists. He gave a number in his speech. Let me finish. He gave a number of people that he claims Israel killed. That number.
All right, Randy, fine. All right, fat boy. But that is not even the one I was looking for. Is this one?
I was reading your interview over the weekend and wanted to ask you more about your conversations with the your legal department about potentially arresting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I just want to know just what your feelings are when you look at, for example, your administration also reaching out to the Prime Minister of, the Ambassador of Iran, just how you, reconcile the two of being so critical of the Israeli prime minister, but at the same time meeting with the ambassador of Iran?
So I want to first clear up a few
Pause,
things.
pause,
Our
pause.
administration.
So here's my takeaway. They're trying to, like I said, they're trying to box him out, box him in, however you want to look at it. They're trying to, every step of the way since Mamdani's been running, they're trying to run this narrative or put him in a box to where they're trying to paint this image that he's so proly in support of, oh shit, Hunter said invite. They're trying to make it seem like he's so in support of let me see. Sorry, guys. But the Palestinian movement, the PLO, and just that whole Palestinian rights movement. And he's so anti-Zionist, right? Anti-Jewish. Every step of the way. So even her question, trying to box him in like, oh, okay, well, you supported this, but you're anti this, right? So when I play the clip, I want to see how Mamdani kind of maneuvers out of this. Let me invite Hunter real quick, guys. Give me a second here. Where you at? Where you at? All right. We might have a guest. I wasn't expecting a guest today. Wasn't expecting a guest. So let's see. Let's finish here.
Administration did not reach out to the Prime Minister of Iran. Our administration received a request from the Iranian consulate, and as soon as I heard of that, I made it clear that we are not meeting and we will not meet with the Israeli consulate here in New York City. And when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, we're speaking about someone who's the subject of an international criminal court arrest warrant.
Bingo.
And he's the subject of this arrest warrant for alleged crimes against humanity,
Bingo.
for war crimes, and he's the architect of the genocide against Palestinians in Gaza as Israel's prime minister. These are not facts of my personal assessment, they are facts of public record.
Yes.
And I believe that when someone is charged with an international criminal court warrant, it's something that should be taken seriously, whether it's Benjamin Netanyahu or it's Vladimir Putin or whomever else. What I've also made clear is that my administration will follow all applicable local laws.
So I'll stop right there. Perfect answer, right? Perfect answer. I agree with him. Now, I've already seen this, obviously, but I just wanted to illustrate a couple things. How, so far, again, unblemishable track record. I think that is a perfect answer because, again, like I said at the top, people acting so shocked. This being the big news that he's talking about getting him arrested. It's like fucking duh, dog. He's a ICC. He's a criminal. It's not anti-Semitic. I'm not saying it. It's not my observation, like he said. It's not my finding. It's what they found. It's what they said. They issued the warrant, right? Your courts, the international criminal courts, right? That you only listen to when it suits your narrative, suits the people that you want to go after, when it tells you that somebody is a dictator in Nicaragua or Cuba, you know. He said, like, why the fuck do you want him? What the fuck do you want him to do to fail? I'm rooting for Mamdani. I don't want him to fail at all. I'm just saying, Hunter's like this too, and he's watching. We always say, the universe is about balance. It's always been about balance, the yin and yang principle. It's always going to be there. I even told you guys when Kendrick was having all his wins, I said, it always has to balance out, right? It always has to balance out. So where's the losses going to be? When someone goes on a huge winning streak, I'm like, that's not good for the playoffs. That's not good. That's just the way my brain is wired. So when I see Mamdani, who I think, like I said, been on a year streak, at least for me, he ran a brilliant campaign. Then he won, right? And then New York won the championship. He's giving a speech on the flotilla. Then, all of this and all of that, the rent freezes. He's actually making money in New York, billions of dollars. Then he turns down the extra salary. Last week, they offered him a $43,000 increase on the salary. He turns that down, says, give it back to the people. It's like win after win after win after win after win. I'm like, okay, but where's going to be the loss? And Stefan likes to see how he bounces back from the loss. That's all. I'm not rooting against the man. I like to see the folklore, the story, the hero's journey. I'm always about it, whether that be for my favorite rapper, basketball ball player, football player. I like the hero's journey, right? So that's where I'm at with Mamdani. I told y'all, he's been kicking ass and taking names, right? He's been pissing off the boomers. I love that, right? They're calling him a commie. He's a socialist. I mean, he runs as a socialist. And Lane, feel free to kind of, make your case. I don't know if Zach's in here or not. Make your case. I mean, Mamdani's running on the democratic socialist ideas, right? And I think it's a big threat. I'll just say it's going to be really interesting over the coming years to keep our eyes on this story and see how powerful they allow Mamdani. Got a guess. Yo. You can hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Bad. You came on time. Perfect. Have you seen any of this that I played?
His ass will be dead in a month. Just call it what it is.
Hey, Bruce ain't around, is he?
Just call his ass is grass.
Okay, so that's Hunter. And he's not really going on record saying he's dead in a month, but I get his point. And this is what we mean, Lane. I was just telling Lane how me and you think about balance in the universe. You've been watching the Mamdani thing for a little bit, right?
Yeah, from afar, but yeah.
From afar. And you know how he's been blitzing. Everything's been good.
Right, yeah, there's not too much bad press about the guy.
So we're waiting for the loss, right?
Oh, yeah, you're saying for sure. There's going to be a bad thing come out about him. He's something's happening.
Thank you. That's all. Because Lane was saying I want him to fail. I'm like, nah. I mean, I'm not saying he's my guy. I've never strictly rooted for a politician ever in my life. But but the things he's doing they said he's delivered on more promises than any politician that we've ever seen already in his first couple months. He literally turned New York around. Everybody knows this. And I'm just waiting to see how he bounces back from a PR loss, or like Hunter said. I mean, I was just saying before you joined, I got to see how long this lasts before they really come after him too.
Right, and I mean, even if he is a good guy, they'll put something on him. I mean, that's not how.
For sure.
There's been a million. I mean, there's been a lot of politicians who have
good measure, yeah.
Who especially back in the day in the 70s, 80s, 90s, who had he's only been around for what, a year?
A year. Ask JFK how that turned out for him.
I was just about to say there's been a million, not a million's extreme, but there's been plenty of politicians who had a good first year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you meant that was trying to do good and got killed, but
no, I'm saying who had a first good year and who people perceived as very good.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
And then I'm not saying it's not hard to have a good first year and be looked at very good first year. I'm just saying it's a lot harder to keep up.
Yeah.
Because in politics, all it takes is one or two bad things and your ass is grass. So
and that soup gets messy over the
years. And then like you said, the first bad thing, it depends how he handles it, because the snowball effect is bad in politics. So we'll see how bad his big stain is, and if he handles it well, it's like, okay, we'll see how well he is in actual politics,
right?
And or he could handle it shitty and be bad, or there's a million ways to go, or he could actually be a real good guy and really be trying to deliver on promises, and they put something on him, like they did a million times, or like they could kill, they could really kill him, like they did a million times, or there's a million things they could do, but the chances of let's say this, the chances of him being a real good guy and him being in politics and delivering on all politics and him staying in office for a long time and continue to deliver on that's 0% chance. That's not how politics works. It's not built for that.
Yeah, so, it's not even entertaining. It's not an entertaining story enough. It never happens like that.
No, never has.
Damn, that was really a good perspective. I did not expect you to even deliver that perspective, but it's a great perspective. I agree 1,000%. So again, let me read Lane's comment. He said, "You said New York is the only city in the country winning. For the young, ignorant citizens, this shit appealing like y'all say democratic socialist doesn't work, but the rest of the country is definitely not working." I can't really internalize what you're saying on that. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. He's basically saying that New York should be an example right now to the rest of the world. The thing is, we know that our parents and our parents' parents, and even people a little bit younger, they're not going for socialism. They're just not. We know that. They're not going for any other form of governance other than democracy. So I understand, and to their point, I even hear Joe talk about it all the time. He gets irritated when anybody brings up socialism or communism because he'll bring up a million examples of other countries where it doesn't work, and so many times in history where it hasn't worked and it's ruined countries, right? But I also said that him doing this in New York City, in the biggest state, corporate state of the world, is really important for his point of it. Maybe,
but here's the thing that people aren't really looking at, right? Like, so he's doing socialism in New York, right?
Yeah.
But people are forgetting that, like, he's really doing fake socialism because it's all still backed by tax money.
Right. You're right about that. It's democratic socialism. Yeah.
It's democratic socialism.
You're right.
It's capitalism socialism.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
That's what it is. So, like, people want this socialism thing, but socialism and capitalism are the opposite of each other.
Yeah, total opposite.
So, but he's using capitalism funds to do what?
To spread the funds more fair.
Right. That doesn't work. And like I'm saying, like in this case, in this one scenario, it does. But like, if you want to go full socialism, that wouldn't work because you would have to take them funds that you're using from the capitalism part. Like that only works in a scenario of what he's doing.
Yeah, when the revenue's coming in from the tax money.
Right. And it only works in a small sector to where he can use a big country and say, hey, I'm a city and I can do this.
Okay, Lane said none of those countries are democratic socialism. And Lane says exactly. Okay.
What do you mean?
He's agreeing. He's saying none of the countries that Joe would use as an example practice democratic socialism. Lane makes the case that he's interested to see that it does work.
What, democratic socialism?
Yes.
So what? Capitalism socialism?
Yeah. yeah.
That, I mean, well, I don't think it will.
I'm saying because basically what it is it's him going after. It's basically what Bernie Sanders wanted to do, right? And him making the rich people pay their fair share, right? We haven't been able to do that on a national scale to where, Hunter knows the game. He's in it to accounting. These rich money tycoons, they know how to hide their money. They know how to play the tax loopholes. They know how to get around. Y'all can raise it to 21% or 27%. They're going to hide their money. They're going to get around it.
Right.
But with this democratic socialism, essentially, it's him. Like the rent freeze that he did, that affects some of the landlords in New York that actually don't have a horrible, units, and they're actually taking care of it. That rent freeze, bro. These landlords, and Hunter, you can speak to this. These landlords, all of them aren't making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can sell your home and get into a second home and become a landlord and not have no fucking money.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can be living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, you can have 2 or 3 homes and barely have 10,000 in your account. Like exactly. For sure.
So a rent freeze for those people, imagine how they feel. It's like they're fucked up. I mean, dog, I need my tenants $1,000 a month. That was coming in. I need that money.
Yeah, people act like all these homeowners, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, especially in like New York and these high-rise apartments, like, most of them are paid off, right?
Yeah.
Or like, I'm not even saying paid off. Most of them are like making money. But what happens is a lot of homeowners, they buy houses, they move out of that house and upgrade a house, keep their house they had, but they still have their mortgage on it. So they still have a house payment. And still have a payment they owe to the bank. They still owe, could be hundreds of thousands to the bank, and they're going to rent it out. And I know this from experience of how my parents was, and how we paid our landlord, it was my aunt. My aunt charges an extra $100
Right.
from what she paid the mortgage company.
Right.
And
So
but like
she's making $1,200 a year.
boom, she's making $1,200 a year, which she just applied extra to the mortgage.
Right.
And but like when we didn't pay, when we was down,
she had to pay her mortgage.
My my aunt had to pay. That's why when then times when we was in high school, we was fucked up. My aunt was paying a few rent payments. My aunt was calling like, "Hey,
I need that money, not because I needed to go to."
And don't get me wrong, my aunt is my great aunt who she's all right. But I'm only saying the example of the fact that like everybody wasn't like my great aunt who had a couple extra thousand laying around and could have made the payments. Some people need that payment.
I need that payment to make the payment.
Exactly.
I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Exactly. So that's how probably more situations than not in America are like. So that's crushing a lot of those people over there.
Now, I will say, let me read Lane's thing. He said, basic needs met, healthcare, regulate rent, fair education, prices, but also a capitalist situation to get ahead and not be completely at the mercy of the government. I don't like the rent-free thing. We personally talked about that.
So here's the thing with this. I can say all those things, right? Our healthcare system in the United States is fucked, right?
Yeah.
And you can look at it from both ways because we have the best healthcare.
Because it's the market.
Right. When you went the best heart surgery, when you went best all of that shit, 9 times out of 10, they're in the United States.
Yeah.
Canada has free healthcare, everybody knows. People don't talk about the fact that if you need a surgery or something done, it's a year or two advance out.
Yeah.
People don't talk about how fucked up it is to even get just regular appointments to get set. You can't even get in over there.
Mm-hmm.
To where a lot of people in Canada have came out and said that we're like, I would much rather pay. No one ever talks about that.
Sword, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword. So like we have the luxury where, don't get me wrong, our healthcare is absolutely fucked because it is overpriced, definitely, but it is also the best. Now there is, I don't know, I'm not the guy to.
The care is the best.
The care is the best. The level of the top notch shit, if you want, is the best. Now, like I said, I don't know. I'm not the guy to have the answers. Like there's a medium where we can get the prices down and the whatever. There's a medium to where we can fix that. Also, it's kind of the same with fair education prices, right? Like everybody knows teachers are underpaid. Severely, right? I'm one of those people personally. Now, it's fucked up because like I don't really have the means now, and I'm kind of glad because like my son's young, and I'm hoping, I don't know, but hopefully when my son is of age when he's going to school, hopefully I make a little bit more money. But like, if everything is free, it means
the worth is less.
Right.
The education is less.
Right. There's a reason why Harvard and Princeton and all these places. There's a reason why they're prestige.
Yeah, gatekeep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why you can't get in. Right. So when we say that, like fair education prices, like I understand what you're saying, right? For we want it to go lower, but do we want the prices to go lower and the teachers to stay the same? Because like in an ideal world, I know what you're saying. You're like, okay, well, we want the teachers to get paid higher, and we want us to pay lower, and the government to pay the in between. It's like in a perfect world that makes sense, but like I don't think that's how that's going to work, man. And I think that I would rather pay for the prestige school to know I'm getting the best education.
Let me go ahead, finish your thought.
Rather than know that everybody's getting free lunch.
Okay, and I agree. I'm so glad this conversation came out how it did because you're perspective on it is a good polar opposite from what I was even going to be saying. And it's good to have that so people know, because you're right. A lot of people don't think about the healthcare system. A lot of people don't think about how an open market affects the quality of something. It's just like the dollar. It's just like the economy, right? If when we print more money, it makes the dollar less valuable because there's more money. Right.
Dog, if you was giving away, I'm just saying, if you was giving away free smoothies all day, you to be profitable, you would have to get better ingredients.
Exactly.
Like, or not to be profitable, but to be able to keep that upkeep,
Yeah.
your ingredients would be shit.
Have to be horrible.
Would have to be horrible, right? But instead, you have really good ingredients, so you get to charge what you get to charge.
Exactly.
The same thing goes around if anything.
Same thing with the open market of anything, right?
Right.
However, let me throw this to you. I think the idea of what Lane's talking about and democratic socialism, that is an idea to fix and replace, because what you're saying is in a capitalist market, right? That's how capitalism is structured, right? In capitalism, you have low cap class, middle, and high, and then that's going to be reflected in all industries, healthcare, school. There's low, like, which would be horrible schools. Then there's the mid tiers, which is like, your private schools. And then there's the Ivy League, right?
Right.
And again, with healthcare, same thing all across the board. That's capitalism.
Right.
Democratic socialism, and I think to your point, it's an ideal world that I don't know if we believe. I don't know if we don't believe in it, but we don't know if we can obtain it. But I just want to clarify, in democratic socialism, it's the idea that he can force the people that are so far out there, the Elon Musk, to pay their fair share, right? And balance, like middle that out, like you said. There's a happy medium, right? That idea is that there's people out there that got too much money and people out there that don't got enough. If we can somehow meet in the middle, there is more. It's basically there's enough resources for everybody. It's just spread. The way it's shared is fucked up.
Right. And I mean, I do want to say two things that I do believe, obviously. I mean, I've made this point since we were doing our podcast years ago, that obviously rich people need to pay more taxes, right?
Yes. Do you think that?
Yeah, I do. Okay. But here's another thing. And I say this because a lot of people don't know this. The 1% of people pay. I'm not. Let me not get the 1% part, because I don't know it's a fact. It might be 1 or the top 10%. Is the top 1 or top 10%? Right? It's something, whatever. The top, whatever.
Right.
Pay 35% of our taxes. So this whole idea of
they're not paying
rich people not, but they, like, this whole idea of rich people don't pay no taxes, that's just delusional, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have to understand that. Like how you said that, like, yeah, we all know that Jay-Z, they have all tax write-offs and everything, and blah blah blah. And Jeff Bezos, and that one year, Amazon didn't pay no taxes and everything.
Pissed everybody off.
Right. We have to understand that
they paid, and by the way, Amazon paid taxes that year.
We have to understand that these guys are paying a lot of money in taxes.
Yeah.
So, but I still do believe that maybe it should go from 35% to maybe 50%. Like I'm not saying.
Oh, you said you tax them more?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that works. I think that they just find more loopholes. They pay less taxes. That's where I agree with what you said. But again, you're right. They do pay taxes. They don't try to pay the maximum. They don't try to pay that 27% or 35% corporate tax. Whatever it is, they don't pay that full amount.
Yeah, corporate taxes, it's not 27, it's 21.
Yeah, 21%.
Yeah.
And so they're just not trying to pay that. But if you think Jay-Z's not paying billions in taxes, he is. They don't want to pay the same percentage that us broke ass pay. It's just like when we get, matter of fact, we practice it. When we get paid and we get paid more and they charge us more taxes, we get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To Lane staying, our country reads at an 8th grade level like water it down or watch our country burn long term. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about, like, we have a problem, right? Like, I'm not saying that we don't have a problem and how it can be fixed. I think that first off, like, I think that comes from the low side. Like, we
Yeah, go ahead.
We need to fix the poor classes first. Which I mean, obviously, that's where socialism comes in.
Yeah.
That's that's where
Right.
that's the idea,
Yeah,
right?
welfare,
Like
all that stuff.
most socialism are poor or
Yeah.
not poor, but they're not rich. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're either middle class or they're poor. So I get that, and it's really amazing to me when there's stats like that of people. When I see stuff like that of people still reading at 8th grade levels, and people when I see things like that, it's almost hard to believe.
I know. I know.
And it's almost like I don't believe. I'm not gonna say I don't believe it, but it's almost like
It's like because nobody in my circle does.
Right, and it's just ridiculous.
You
If
wanna
there's
know
people
what-
out there,
who are these people? Like,
who and
am I in
where?
a bubble?
That's what I'd be really wondering. Like, if there's people that I know that I read at 6th and 7th grade levels, because if there is, then I need to talk to you. But I mean, to Lane's point, that is definitely a problem. I think that goes back to teachers, one, because teachers. It goes back to teachers being severely underpaid. It goes back to teachers. They're putting anybody in that teacher spot because teachers are severely underpaid. No one wants to be a teacher no more.
Nobody wants to be a teacher. Teachers are
Back to, my mom was a teacher. My grandma was a teacher. My mom told me, she wanted to be a teacher her whole life. That was like what she wanted to do. She went to school to be a teacher.
You potentially would have been if it would have paid.
Yeah. Yeah. If teacher was a good career salary, and I'm not saying about rich. I'm talking about if a teacher would have paid
livable wage. They don't even get paid a livable wage.
Even though, remember when we was looking at them teacher salaries because that was on public?
And the thing, and somebody clocked me a couple of days ago because I ain't really never considered it. I mean, I did, but the way they put it, they're like, well, when you really do the math,
3 months off.
Exactly. Teachers are getting paid for 7 months.
It's not 7, it's 9.
Well, with all their fucking vacation and
I know with winter break and spring break.
You're really getting paid for 8 months.
Yeah.
So in your another 4 months, go get another job and make $13,000.
Some people do. I mean, we know Lori, she was a waitress. She was a waitress for her entire time, made that little extra bread on the weekends and summer job. So some people, I know a lot of teachers who do shit like that, who just little side quests.
It's shit like when you find out they got to pay, I don't know, private school, public, I don't know. But most teachers that we knew paying for their own supplies. So it's like, I don't know if I getting paid $50,000, but like every year, a couple grand.
I got to buy books for my people. I got to, I'm not getting no help. Yeah, right. And it's just, teachers need to get paid more, right? Like there's no doubt about that. But you're right. If teachers would have been paid starting off at like 60 and you could have made 80 and then like max out was like 100, 110, I would have been a teacher.
Yeah, right now, today.
I would have went to school to be a teacher. I would have had my 3 months off in the summer laughing at you fools.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would have been chilling with kids.
What would you, some of our friends have been teachers. What grade would you have taught?
Middle school.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see myself doing like 7th, 8th grade.
Type shit.
Yeah, I would have been 7th, 8th grade, like Mr. Elliott.
Yeah, I can do that. I can see that.
Because high school is when you get to
a little bit too out there, and then I'm not
wild to talk back
exactly, and like fights and like.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I remember us in high school. It's like I wouldn't have dealt with that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh, you know who I would have been? I'd have been Mr. Neldon. Slamming doors and dramatic.
Blowing up
and dramatic and walking out and slamming doors.
I've been Hogan.
No.
I can be cool. I can be cool, but
you can be cool, but I ain't never seen Hogan really.
Hogan. No, Hogan lately have been tripping. Hogan, I love you if you're watching.
Yes.
But listen, he been tripping. I'm saying you forget Hogan had another side where he was stern, and when Hogan,
I never seen that blitz Hogan's side.
Hogan would blitz and niggas listen.
Yeah, see, I believe it. I'm saying because he had that aura. I'm just saying I never seen him really turn up like that.
You definitely remember him chasing people on the scooters. And
for sure, I remember that.
He wasn't going, and that was. I mean, he'd be joking about it now, but during that time, he shut the school down for a week. Like he had people spooked. It was the talk of what he did, and he was really on asses. He said, "And before I get dragged, I am not socialist. I just think this."
Yeah, you are. So
It's not fucking working, and the youth are seeing this go down. So Zach better get MAGA together. I wanted Zach on here back, but hold on. Let me throw this to Hunter before you switch gears to what y'all really want to talk about. What do you say? We talked about the tax situation. You say raise the taxes. Obviously, that's been a contingent for decades.
when I say raise the taxes, right? I'm not saying
Because you about to piss off a lot of people.
I'm not. I'm talking to you, right? I'm not saying raise the taxes as in with a picket signs and raise the taxes. I'm saying I think in the perfect world, if these guys actually paid their taxes,
Okay.
I'm not, because like you said, that's what would happen if they put in a law and raise their taxes, they would find more loopholes and they wouldn't pay the
That's the
taxes.
name of
I'm
the game.
saying
That's what you hire an accountant for. That's literally the name of the game.
right. I'm saying in a world right. What I said was right now they pay 35%.
Right.
So I'm saying that's what they actually do pay. I'm saying in a world, if we can get them somehow, whether it's through raising, through them actually just saying, you know what, fuck it, we're going to pay them through whatever they want. If they can somehow pay 50% of the United States taxes, I think that would help tremendously.
Hold on.
Just an extra 15%.
50%. You think you would be okay?
15.
Oh.
35 to 50.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. So they would be paying 50% taxes?
Yeah, they pay 35 right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think that's logical? That sounds crazy.
No, it's not. Not for the top 10% people. You
No,
got to think about it. The top 10%
okay, let me
people.
put it in your check is $1,000. I'm not saying you literally.
Right.
You give them $500? Fuck out of here. I don't. That's their thinking. They don't care the fact that they got billions of dollars. They're like, I'm not paying. It's the percent. Why would I pay half? If I made $1 billion, why would I give you 500 million of my billion?
No. So listen. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that they pay 35% when I say that. I'm saying they make up. I don't know. I'm saying that top 10% of people make up.
Okay.
So if if the United States, everybody pays, say it's $100 in the pocket.
Right.
If the United States taxes at the end of the year, if everybody put in $100, the top 10% of the people, they put in 35.
35 of the bucks.
That's what I was saying. I'm not saying they would still only pay 30 because right now capital tax is only 21.
Yeah, okay, I see.
So it would only raise to 24.
Right.
It wouldn't be 50.
I think Trump cut it back to 21. Kamala and them was trying to go to 27. But this is the whole conversation. This has been the fight for all these years, right? But I think what I was trying to throw to you before we switch gears is like somebody I listen to Joe a lot, and he says, and I think he's right on the money. I think there's a third party that we're not looking at, and he said, "Fuck y'all. Why in the fuck?" Because Joe, damn near a billionaire, probably, right? 100 millionaire. We know that.
He's 100 millionaire.
So he knows this game. He's played it a long time. He's like, dog, the problem in our country is not rich people need to pay more taxes.
It's not.
It's the misallocation of the funds. We're giving them all the money. They have the money.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, we've had it, like we said. I mean, he brings Joe. You bring Joe up. He brings up all the time of the fact that the homelessness in LA, and he brings that scenario up all the time of the fact that they was given hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and the next year
it got worse.
It got way worse, and they was like, well, he talked to an insider when he lived there. He's like, hey, like, what's going on? He's like, like if we fix it, we lose our jobs.
We're not getting our salary.
We lose our jobs and we make 6 figures. And he said that's when he really realized, like, oh,
I see.
So that's the real thing, right? Like we can sit here and podcast and talk about taxes and all that shit, but like the real thing is
our government's stealing the money.
Boom.
That's just the bottom line. So socialism, guys, we got to turn our eyes, and we have. The thing is, I said before Hunter was on here, it's like the cat's been out the bag, but now I think the American people are at this like crossroad to where like, do we really accept the fact that our government is like literally working against us, or do we continue to? It's eyes wide shut. Do we want to continue to live in the fantasy because it's easy, it's comfortable? We've all existed in this illusion, and we don't got to fight our government unless we like really realize it and might have to step up, because that's what we're faced with, dog. They've been literally You was on the podcast when we covered the Pentagon failed. Remember the Pentagon failed the other audit again a couple months ago
Yeah.
for like the 8th year in a row, and it's like those are billions of dollars, and they keep failing, and no one's holding them accountable.
Yep. Yeah.
If that was us, dog, in the IRS, if we was missing, if a corporate tycoon, Elon Musk, if they couldn't find, because they're tracking him left and right every dollar he spent, if they couldn't find billions of his dollars where it was going, he would be arrested and sent to jail.
Oh yeah. Big problems.
So that's really the issue. So we can talk, like Hunter said, we can talk socialism, democratic socialism, capitalism all day. Again, I think the fact of the matter is the government been fleecing us. They've been fleecing us, bro. Straight up.
And the thing is, to fail an audit, like, for example, my boss Henry, he was just telling me this. He used to work at a big not Honda, but like another not like Ferrari, but like I can't think. No, it was another like luxury brand. Another car, Mercedes. I think it was Mercedes. He worked at another Mercedes. He was a finance guy over at Mercedes, and it was a big thing over there, right? And he was just telling me a couple weeks ago about how his boss, he was doing a big audit, and his boss was like, "Hey, I need you to find these $12 million.
Yeah.
Find this." And he said he stayed up to like 6 a.m. trying to find it. He was like, "I couldn't find this." Or no, it was like $100 million. It was this $100 million. And he said he stayed up till 6 in the morning. He found it all, and he couldn't find this $1 million. And he was like, he stayed up all night. He's like, I couldn't match it because we do bank recs. So that's what I do all day. Where we have to match our every deposit. That's what's so funny about now looking at audits. Every single deposit and withdrawal in our bank at the end of the month, we have to go through, and every payment has to match our. It's the most annoying shit in the world because. Just imagine right now, if from your personal bank account, if every DoorDash order, if everything you had to receipt and everything, you'd be like, dog, I don't remember, and it's so annoying, bruh. So he was telling me, he was like, I couldn't find this $1 million, and he was like, I stayed till 6. The next day I went to work. He was like, hey, I couldn't find it, and his boss was like, oh, great job, you couldn't find $1 million out of the 100. He was like, anything under 10 million, we're good. We passed the audit. So I say that to say that was just a Mercedes.
I got so many questions. Go ahead.
So that's just anything under 10 million for the audit. So the government, if they're failing the audit, I bet their threshold is
way huger. True.
Oh no, bro, literally probably fucking hundreds of $1 trillion.
I read it, and I don't know what the number is. I read it last time the report came out. I clicked the link and I read the whole thing, and they have a huge threshold.
That's what I'm like. They could literally not find hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and still pass the audit.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can't pass, the fact that they're still failing, and like at that point is just like, dude.
All right, so I got 2 questions for you. I don't know if you're able to answer them, but the first thing I wanted to say for anybody out there viewing, y'all remember back in 2022 and 3, we told you we was gonna be auditing you niggas, and you see my friend here is in the field to where he isn't just talk. He audits shit in real life, company money, big time. So just keep that in mind when y'all just have slack talking or saying stuff. We are auditing y'all. We're literally auditing y'all. And then the question I have for you is how do you feel about that being your role at some point in a company, like to where you might be tasked with the job of like, hey, not even just where you're at, just you can speak in general, just in your field. Like imagine that, like you might have to spend extra overtime or just imagine getting that call like, hey, we
need you to find this money.
Yeah, we need you to find this company's missing $13 million. I mean, we need you to go through. Like, is that not scary?
I mean, the thing is, realistically, a lot of it is misapplication, right? Like from what me just being the accountant, just doing my field for a lot of time.
Application or allocation?
Misapplication. Like a lot of the shit is findable.
Okay.
Like for instance, like Henry said, it was like $100 million and he found 99 of it.
Right.
Most of the time you can find it. At the end of every month at this new job, which has been harder than my other jobs, Henry will give me for last month, he gave me, I think it was like close to 10,000. And he was like, hey, but it within $10,000, it was like 12 or 13 different transactions.
Right.
One for, $1,000, one for $63, one for, and they all you have to find it all.
Right.
And you have to go through the system. And so the couple had to call the bank, like, what is this for? And then you have to, so some of it is it's just research, most of it, right? Like, it's not necessarily like hard. It's just, and there's some stuff to where it's like, oh, I know exactly what that is. I just didn't post that in the
Right.
system to where like it just wasn't it wasn't accounted for, right? Like we got it in the bank. We didn't post it in our ERP system, so like our system didn't know that we got it. We
Right.
received
But the
it.
bank
So
had it.
that's right. So it's just that's just all it is. So it's not that crazy. And the thing is, when you're an accountant, right? Like numbers don't seem crazy. Like I talk big. I was driving home today, man. I'll tell you something off.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something off podcast. But just know I deal with crazy numbers, man. Millions of dollars numbers, and I'll be thinking like I was driving home today, listening to music.
You're
Listen,
throwing
listen,
money around.
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what the fuck?
They're
Because
throwing money around.
yeah, and it's just like I just come home from work and I just don't even think about it. But I was just thinking like I'm really like touching like not in physical cash, but like I'm like checking I'm like in the
Yeah.
bank. It's just me. Like I'm doing all this, and it's just like millions of dollars of cash
Yeah.
flow in and out, and it's just like that's kind of fucking crazy. And it's just I don't know, bro. But it's just when you become that, when you just become the accountant, it's like numbers are just numbers.
And they're just numbers, and then it gets bigger and bigger.
And that's why exactly, and that's why when I worked at Finish Line, I have a classic video of me sending to Damon, and it was like $7,000 or $6,000 of a deposit. I don't know if you remember. I was like, "We're about to get up out of here. I'm taking this money."
Allegedly.
And right, and it's so delusional because at that point when I was 19 or 20, however old I was, I thought 7,000 cash was like right, and then I got hired at the bank, and
that number blossomed.
And I was taking in deposits for 300,000 cash, and I was
Right.
seeing like, bro, like I'm literally touching in real time
Yeah.
$300,000 of cash. Like this is fucking bizarre. And now I'm seeing these numbers. So like and like you said, they just grow bigger to where like I could get to another company in a couple of days and be touching like tens and hundreds of $1 millions. And I don't think it would be. I think I'll literally think the exact same because it would just when you're in the
It's
computer and you see this,
numbers
there's
on the board.
numbers.
That's what they
There's
call it.
they're
Numbers on
just
the
literally
board.
numbers, man.
Yeah.
So I don't. It just.
What about the dark side of what you said? So you explained the realistic, more day to day findings of an accountant, right? Of you trying to account for 10,000 missing dollars. But talk about the scenario of like
The thing is, it's bad business practice, right? Like that's the scary part. If you're working for a business and they're doing bad business,
right.
that's when it gets scary. I haven't had that.
There's that. I didn't even think of there's that one, and then or an employee stealing, or like
that
a couple employees money laundering, and then now you're the accountant. What if you got I don't know this. You might know. I'm sure there's cases, obviously federally, of accountants probably having to testify and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're definitely. I guarantee there is.
And that's like whoa. But talk about the bad business practice because that's even scarier. Because now you're dealing with like, what if a rogue boss that's like stealing money and like trying to entice you or not blackmail you? What's the word I'm looking? Corrupt you into hiding, or like what if?
Yeah, I have all my information at the bank right now. Like to my company's bank.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I could literally, I could hook up. You remember how you said that? Didn't like an employee take Tim's that had his like Planet Fitness coming out a couple years ago, and like y'all didn't know about it forever. Then you were like, "What the?" Tim was like, "What the hell is this?" So I'm saying like I could literally, but the thing is, this company is so brutal. They would at the end of the month, they'd be like, "What's this charge?
What's this $767 charge for?"
It could be $1,000. It could literally be $5, and they'd be like, "Hey, Hunter, find out what this charge is." So, but I'm saying like I could do whatever. I could literally do crazy shit. Now, obviously, I would go to fucking jail, and they would end up catching me, whatever. But like, I have access to all of the account numbers, and I could do whatever I wanted with the account numbers. But
what about the boss situation you said, or the bad business practice? What example could you give?
What do you mean?
Like, give a general example of what you mean, like from your perspective as an accountant for a company. What did you mean by bad business practice? Like, what would happen? What does that indicate? What does that mean?
People taking money out. So I mean, here's an example of it hasn't happened at this job, but in other jobs of this was damn near illegal. The owner of the company would just the owner of the company was on payroll, right?
Okay.
So he would get his check, similar to how
Yeah.
but he would also just go into the company's bank and withdraw 25,000 when he needed. He was a gambler. And there would be times for payroll. He would take money out for when we needed payroll. And there was times where we didn't have enough money for payroll.
Say that instead of we. It's
not my company.
It's not a real story. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real story. It's just not my company. Yeah. But so there wasn't enough money for payroll. So we would process payroll and not pay would not pay taxes, because when you do we wouldn't to pay taxes through ADP.
Right.
We would just pay your paycheck through you and not do it through ADP. So, and then the next following week, we would run through the taxes and all that shit through ADP to make it all legit. But like during the time, you would just cut corners and all that shit. But so like that's bad business practices of doing shit like scandalous shit like that. You're the owner doing dumb shit like that. Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, it says, bring me up to speed real quick. What we're doing. So we was talking about Mamdani, Hunter and Lane was boxing about socialism, democratic socialism. We start talking about taxes and the whole idea and stuff. Hunter says tax the fuckers 50%. I'm just playing. But we were talking about raising taxes and basically Mamdani sending a blitz this year, and we're waiting to see him lose because we want to see how he bounces back. Real quick, Hunter, what is another practice, bad business practice? Is that like overspending? Does that happen a lot? Like the company, like just dumb spending? Do you see that?
Oh my God, dog! You don't even understand. I mean, I can go on and on. The thing about being an accountant, like right now, this whole new role got me looking at everything so much crazier than just any other role I've had been in. Like, because now I get the full scope of everything, dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a
literally it goes to the bosses that not a penny goes by without you knowing where it went.
Yeah, it's a man. I've done learned so much shit. It's not even funny, dog. That's another horrible business practice. Now we have so much more. Yes.
You still there? Hold on, guys. We might have lost Hunter. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
People was buying. It's why we're so fucked up in a cash position we're in now, because people were buying parts for projects 4, 5, 6 in a month advance. Right?
Yeah.
And to get discounts on prices.
Okay.
Supposedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is when you do all that, we have our terms to pay them, or the vendors are net 30. So we have to pay them in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
All of our AR, which is all of the shit we sell, most of our shit is, we have most of our customers are, government contracts and other shit. I mean, that's just some of them, but are 90 to 120 days. So we have to pay all these customers in 30 days. We're not getting our money for our projects for 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months, yeah.
So our cash is all tied up. You're buying parts that we're not even starting on projects for. We're not even starting on the project yet. What are you buying the products for?
Oh, so do they?
So we're just sitting on inventory.
Okay. Do the buyer real quick? Do the buyers, the people that are purchasing these parts, do they have access to know the cash flow?
Fuck no.
So they can just be clicking a button.
Well, the thing is, they do what they're. Remember, I told you a dude got fired.
Yeah.
he's the director of purchasers. He's the boss of all the buyers. His ass is grass because he's supposed to be telling them,
Like, no,
yo,
to spend.
right. He's supposed to be doing all that shit. So like, man, like I said, I've got a full scope of how to run a business now, and it's really fucking crazy. Every other scope I was in, I was just
You got
paying bills, right? Like I was just paying the bills.
40% site, blind side.
Yeah, I was just paying the bills. You know, I was just on that side. Now I'm on like every side. Like not only am I just paying the bills, or not only am I just getting the money in, but now I'm on like the side of the full financial scope of everything, of inventory, of WIP, of everything, of how to literally run a business, of our profitability, of how much we're making this year, of fucking literally of how much we're sitting on inventory, of everything. Henry be telling me, shit, I'll be like, what? And it's really crazy to learn for him, man. It really is. So, and it really irritates me now to know that like when people be doing shit now, I'll be like, what the fuck are y'all doing, bruh?
Yeah,
So
real kudos to you in that position. I mean, I've been telling guys, everybody tuning in, shout out to y'all. Please like and subscribe. We just got a huge influx, but I've been saying if all of us, me, you, if we don't get together somehow and operate a business, we would be fools.
yeah, because now, you know, I couldn't have did what I've doing now just 4 or 5 months ago.
Right.
In another 5 or 6 months, if I've at this year, I'll literally know how to do everything. Like how literally, and even though I had 8 years of experience, I was only on the AP side, which I was a goat at, but it's still only like, okay, you can pay bills.
Right.
And which is like still like, you know, is a big side. It's still 30% of the accounting.
Right.
AR is another 30%. And then the other 40% is literally understanding the financial statements, and like really that's the main part that I'm really learning these past 2 months since Henry's been here. And it's just like, yo, this is fucking
Them
crazy, bro.
motherfuckers in there throwing salami around. They in there throwing money.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
And like, nah, you get to wondering, like, man, like, who's doing all the spend? I mean, why are they? You start thinking, like, well, because you know, in my situation, we got two different roles, but I see a lot of what you're talking about. But I'm fortunate to have a boss that's completely opposite of those bad business practices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't spending a dime.
Right.
But you know, I do get to see the avenues where he could take a draw. He could, that payroll shit you said. Same exact thing, right? He could.
Right.
I mean, it would be a bad business practice, but I understand how that could happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ACH thing that you talked about with the Planet Fitness thing, I understand how that can happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got access to being able to do shit like that. So, yeah, it's really I tell people all the time. I never thought that I would be that interested in business until I started doing it.
Don't you have to? Because you have a
accountants.
No, don't that card you have, is that a company like credit card? That's what you be using?
Yep.
That's a credit card?
Yeah.
And don't you have to like you be saving them receipts and you turn them in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that
all the time we get an email every month from the accountants.
Right. So like that's what these past 2 months. So I have 10 employees, including my COO, which now I'm on top of credit cards too. So that's like 10%. But 10 employees have credit cards.
Right.
And they buy parts from meals to from car pay, from like anything you could gas, from anything you could think of, right? And at the end of the month, I be on their ass now.
You're the one that emails me. I get an email at the end. You're the one that emails me.
I go up to their fucking desk and say, give me your receipts.
Right.
And then they'll be like, oh, I got to go get it. And I'll be like, dog, give me your receipt. Like, I'll be all right, cool. And then they'll forget. And I'll send them another email like, hey, where's your receipt? I'll send them these. And then they'll be like, okay, I got it. But where's your receipt? Like, I'll be on their ass now.
Also on the side of the business, the workers that you're talking about, they come into my job asking for a receipt from a month ago. So I get to see that too. And I understand why. I'll be holding them why, because I'll be annoyed as fuck. But I get it. They got a company card. They ordered something here 3 weeks ago, a big order, and didn't fucking keep the receipt. And now it's accounting time. Yep. I get it.
That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. The people got to do that. That's exactly what that is. It's time to pay the piper. We got to account for all that shit.
To pay the piper.
We got to account for all that shit, man. We got to expense that out. So like now that's just another, but that's part. I mean, it's not easy. It's just annoying because I got 10 motherfuckers and it'd be it'd be like 40 grand, 50 grand a month. That how much our company spending in credit cards.
That you got to account for?
Yeah.
How much do you think be missing on average?
So like last month I just did it. It was when I originally did it, so I have to do a journal entry.
And again, he's talking about another job, guys.
Yeah, I did it. I do a journal entry, and it was about 30. It was 12,000 missing. Then a week later, I ended up getting most receipts, so now there's only $2,000 missing.
What'd you say y'all start? Do y'all have a threshold?
Threshold as far as what? Of like what?
Like that adult auditing thing you said. You know, like to where?
No, I mean like you just want as much as you want, right? Because we do get audited, I think twice a year, and audits is like we just got done with the audit, bro. That was like for
No, I meant just for your boss, your overseer. That would say like if Hunter couldn't find if there was 12,000 missing and you found 11,000, would he be all right with the missing 1,000?
No. No.
What
you
do
gotta find it. Now, like there's receipts you don't find, right? And there's some because there's some receipts where people just be like, I just cannot find it.
Yeah.
And you just gotta write it off to liability. And that's just what it is. You just write it off to where it's just like, hey, like to where you're gonna cancel the account to zero.
It still shows up on the P&L sheet. It still shows up somewhere. It's in a category.
It's gonna cancel out to be zero eventually, right? You're not gonna just have an open balance out there to say like, oh, this, but you're just gonna write it off to be like to a liability. But you want to have as little liability out there the year as possible. So yeah, that's why. I mean, it's only my second month doing this because this is part of that transition. You know, when I first started the first two months, everybody in that other job did all of this shit. But now that whole transition, I'm doing everything now. So it's just like, I mean, like I said, it's cool, but it's just now I be on asses now because it makes my job so much easier when I can get these receipts ahead of time rather than chasing you down weeks after the month's end and then like, hey, where's your receipt, dog? It's like, dog, what's going on?
Right, and it's just a fucking monkey.
It'd be fucking Mike and Rosie's receipts. Like, what are you doing? literally be Un Mundo $13 coffee receipts.
Pepperoni fucking pizza.
Give me your fucking receipt, Schulers. Like Speedway receipt. Like, keep your fucking receipt.
I already know. We can go on and on. Last question about this, and then I got to get you on the main topic. So senior accountant down the pipeline, and would you? I've asked you obviously privately, but CPA. Would you could you imagine being like I know you say you can do that now, but do you envision a world to where like you could get hired by an independent contractor or somebody off the street or somebody rich? Somebody blows up in Springfield and you would be their accountant, or they would hire you for a period.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. So here's the thing, man. I really transitioned everything, right? So I originally was going to get my, I have my associates in business management. Just got that because whatever. It was just, whatever, right? It's business. It was just whatever. It's a minor in accounting. And I was going to just say, you know what? I've been an accountant for 8 years. Let me get my bachelor in accounting. It only makes sense. Since I was talking to Henry and everything with the pay, and he made it perfect. Like I started looking at this shit, and I even started asking AI everything. Finance is the way to go, right? Because accounting is, at the end of the day, accounting is mainly input. It's
no output. You're not spending nothing.
Or no, I'm not. When I say input, I mean it's accounting is 75% of processing, of entering numbers, of
data entry, journal
entry. Yeah, right. Finance is in the same world, but it's more of analyzing and it's more of
Advising.
boom. It's more of problem solving. It's more of okay, you have
Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah, okay.
That's what he did. That's literally what he did.
Okay.
He
Okay.
advised richer people
Right. Yeah. I mean,
not to
yeah.
spend their money. That's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. AI is about to take accounting, but yeah, AI is going to take accounting. I mean, it's going to take lower level accounting way before it takes like CPAs and senior accounting. But yeah, eventually for sure. Um, at the end of the day, like that data entry and like all that is
Yes, but
done.
that's so whack. I couldn't imagine if I was an athlete and we had a firm, right? Clutch Sports. I'd much rather have you as my accountant than AI.
Yeah, but like my job right now for everything I do, it's gonna be me and Jake was talking about it's gonna be some years, probably 5 years
Yeah.
for my job to get took. But like the job I was just doing, at home, that job could get took in a year or two.
Damn. Because it's more robust as
That
far
was
as
all data entry.
yeah.
That was all
Right.
so like that was all like just processing. Like
Right.
I do processing now, but that's 25% of my job. That's only a little bit of my job.
Right.
So I do a lot of analyzing now. I do a lot of problem solving. I do so many different hats on my job now to where it was just so hard. Finance is just so much
More
more, like I
broad.
said,
Way more broad.
way more broad, man. Finance is where you hire someone and say, "Hey, come solve this. Come everything." And it's way less boring, right? Like accounting's cool, but it's not, I mean, like it's I just always looked at this shit like a job.
Mm-hmm.
Finance is since I've been at this job with my guy, it's been like I said, it's way more interesting because I get to go in, I get the full scope and the full picture of
Yeah,
everything.
a restaurant could hire you, a hotel could hire you,
Right.
any
And you
company
can
could
get
hire you, and you got to find out their systems, know how
right
the profitability works. It's what,
and
yeah,
say, hey dog, you got too many employees.
right, exactly, exactly.
like
I looked at it. Here's your problem.
boom.
Or you're spending too much. Take the
Or
boat
you're
off your P&L. Stop.
boom.
Yeah.
Like there's a I've looked at so many things. Here's your problems. Fix these. Like there's so many things. Finance does that. And when accounting is just accounting doesn't do none of that. Accounting
Yeah.
is just like okay, well let me just
There,
enter
there's
everything.
there's more put in that box where they're just
Accounting is like let me just enter all the
yeah.
information you're gonna give me, and that's it.
In
Not
fact, because
analyzing.
I talk about with our company, I ask them, I go, do you and you can do this with an accountant, but you don't have to, right? I always say, do you seek seek advice from the accountant? When we about to make a big purchase or do something, I'm like, have you talked to X, Y, and Z? And sometimes he'll tell me, yeah, but sometimes he'll be like, no, because it's really not their job. Their job is to just see what you spent and account for it.
Exactly.
Finance manager, they would be advising, hey, I'm about to make this big purchase. What do you think?
Bingo.
Boom.
Bingo. And that's the difference right there. Because exactly, you talk to the accountant, they don't know
They're like,
they
oh,
don't know jack shit.
yeah, exactly.
They don't know. I mean, unless they have any background in that, unless they really know all your finances of everything, unless they like are really like looking at full scope of shit, know your
Mhm.
EPTA, know your
Yep.
no, that's not gonna. They don't know anything.
They got to know your business, you know.
No, your future, no, all that shit. Your finance manager is going to know pull so many more reports and have so many more future outlooks and know so many more different things. So I'm going to school for that. My boss right now, that's what he's been doing for 30 years. So I feel like I can learn so much for him.
That's what
And
Henry does.
yeah, that's what he is. So that's why I'm like, man,
He's
you
a
know what?
finance manager. He's a finance manager.
Yeah, and that's what he has his degree in finance. And that's what he's the one kind of convinced me. I'm like, you know what? You made a good fucking point, man.
I've
And
seen a TikTok. Don't they be making like $130,000 a year?
yeah, and like just the accounting compared to that would make like 90 or 100. And it's like just that same role. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's less boring. And
You could get thrown on so many different projects. That would be so exhilarating.
and the thing is like I'm in a role right now where like, I was telling my mom, for instance, it's just funny because I was telling mom, she's like, so what do you, this is like a month ago. She's like, so what do you do? Like, I never like, really asked you. And I'm like, I'm an accountant. And she was like, no, like, so like, she's like, well, you're not an accountant. You have to go to school for that. So like, what do you do? And I'm like, I was like, I'm an accountant. I don't know how to answer that. I'm literally an accountant. And she was just like, okay, Hunter. I was just like,
excuse me.
I'm just like, what? And she was like, well, you literally have to go to school. I was like, I understand 99% of people have to go to school for what I'm doing right now, but like, I didn't. That's the point. So like, me with my finance degree and my 10 years of accounting experience will be like, oh, okay, so you can do the accounting and the finance.
Right.
Boom. So it'll just be a perfect resume. On top of everything for me to set up. So it's yeah, partly what Shane said. It's less AI taken. It makes more money. It's less boring. It's more of my bag of, you know me, of just analyzing shit, of fixing problems shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of just like, oh, I like to come in and fix shit a little bit and
Let me
just
get
kind of
involved. Let me
let me get involved with that.
let me
Right.
get involved with that.
So that's just more of my bag anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna try to learn as much as I can from my job.
So this umbrella, the finance managers kind of work over the accountants, right?
Typically, yeah. Yep. And yeah, most finance managers are super, super high. Most finance managers make bread.
Yeah, I just
Like
it's
a lot more than that. Like most finance managers, they can be called finance managers or controllers.
Yep.
And we're looking at, bread. 130 is a low end where you can talk about
That's
200.
like entry level shit.
That's entry level shit. I mean, that's medium shit, right? Like that's a decent shit, but like that's decent. That's decent. It don't get much. It don't get lower than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not entry level, but it's like you're not a that's not an entry level position. You know what I mean? It's like if you're the finance manager, it's like, oh shit,
You
like
work
you've
your
been
way up
doing
the
this for
ladder.
yeah, you have experience. So
Okay. All right. Well, shit, guys. That was a curtail, but obviously we got the homie review in here. Now he might kind of, tippy toe around it because we don't have an official review yet. But I saved the best topic for last, man. Shane's in here. Lane, I think you're still in here. Zach, I think you're in here. It's time to talk about it, man. Shit. I mean, we got the Odyssey. So the Odyssey came out a week ago.
a week ago from today.
A week ago today. That's perfect timing, right? We could go today. I believe all of us in here have seen the movie. On the screen here, I have a list of Nolan's movies. I won't do a list ranking right now because that might ruin some shit we got coming down the pipeline. But I will throw you the ball and say, what did you think about the Odyssey? You don't got to drop scores or anything like that.
I think it lived up to its expectations, which were, I mean, skyrocket high, right? I mean, past since the movie.
Start with what you said about it. What was your expectations for this movie?
But I mean, my expectations were very, very, very high. I mean, I don't think it can get much higher than a movie, right? I mean, when Christopher Nolan when a director of his ilk says he's coming out with a movie and it's the any movie, so that's that. And then you say it's the Odyssey, we're all like, cool, we're tapped in. But Christopher Nolan can literally come out and say he's dropping a movie about a fart, and we're gonna say bet.
Yeah.
So, so we're like, okay, cool. But then he says it's the Odyssey, classic. You know what I'm saying? I never seen any Odyssey and never read the book Odyssey, but I've always heard, we've always heard of the Odyssey.
Yeah, that has lore.
Exactly, the lore, right. So we're like, cool. The past 2 years, I mean, I literally couldn't wait. I don't think there's been more of an anticipated movie for me the past 2 years. So with that being said,
well, hold on because what I wanted to do, you said on this platform, you set specific expectations about what you thought the movie, how it would be received. That's where I wanted to go.
Yep. And I was wrong. I thought I originally said I thought the movie would be great and it would be a classic,
Yeah.
but I thought that it would be perceived not that well at first. I thought it would be one of those movies. I thought it would be one of those movies
Like an
that
Inception for him, because Inception took. I mean, it was in a fight for 10. Inception's still in a fight. People still
I
say,
would more compare it to Interstellar.
okay,
Once you told me Interstellar was a 74%, that's a perfect comparison. I would more compare it to an Interstellar film of a 70% type rating, but
it's
if you
really
make
good.
but
Everybody
it's
thinks it's good.
right. Everybody loves Interstellar.
The
It's
critics
really
hate it.
critics hate and everybody I mean, who doesn't like Interstellar? It's a great fucking movie.
Yep.
So that was more of the comparison um I thought this movie was going to be. Instead,
Mm.
we got a fucking smash hit.
Hey,
I mean, these theaters are fucking rocking
I
right
know.
now.
They are. They
These
really
like
are.
they're still sold
I
out.
still can't get
Th-
tickets.
They're putting IMAX tickets at 1 and 3 in the morning to get shows out. They're like this movie right here, man. He made his money back his first weekend
Yep.
on his budget. I mean, he has to make more for his marketing, all that shit. But like just his budget, he made his money back off the rip. This movie is an automatic success whether you like it or not.
Yep.
Um, fuck Nolan. Let me say something that because I haven't made my review yet. I've been slacking. But there is a note because I've been watching some. I've been obsessed with this shit, man. I can't lie. I cannot stop thinking about this
Yep.
movie.
A week later, I can't get my mind off the movie either.
I literally cannot stop thinking about this movie, right? And so I've been watching interviews and clips of the cast and of Nolan and all type of shit. Nolan said this interview, and I was going to say this for my review, but I'll still mention it there. Someone asked Nolan, they said, how do you feel about people who don't like or who criticize the fact that they can't always understand your movies in your first watch, right? Like
Yeah.
it's the same Kendrick Lamar shit.
Right.
Some
Terry calls it calculator.
calculator shit. Boom. And Nolan said something that literally, and something that I said, something that Shane said. Nolan said, "Don't worry about that. Just feel it."
Right.
And I'm like,
That's really
Nolan, you
hard.
son of a bitch, dog.
Really hard.
Because like obviously we don't got to go down the path of Nolan having all his fucking crazy shit, right? But the fact that I can't get away from the feeling
Mm-hmm.
of me leaving that theater and just thinking, like I told you, I love Sinners. I love these other great movies that came out these past few years. And it's just not.
I will say Sinners stayed on our mind too. Sinners was still on your mind, but
Sinners what?
I'm agreeing. I agree with you in this sense.
Sinners is a solid 9 out of 10 movie instant classic film.
I agree with you on this point that I think the difference is, and it's like you said with Kendrick and stuff, but with this Nolan movie, you feel unresolved. You feel satisfied, but you want to watch the film again to understand it. Something in you, I don't mean to literally understand it, like what you mean to go break it down, but something in you draws you back to it. Like I didn't catch it. You just want to watch it again. You just want to watch it again.
Yep, you just want to watch it again.
And
so you know why.
That, but I left the theater. I understood the movie totally immediately. Yeah. I just wanted to see it because it was visual. I just wanted to see it again for another reason.
I didn't have this itch with Sinners. Like I knew I loved Sinners, and I knew I wanted to watch it again, right? Like, but man, this movie, dog, it was just something about everything, totality. It's just visually crazy, man. It was just, I don't know. Like I said, it hit every box for me.
What do you got to say about the backlash it is facing?
It's just in today's what doesn't face backlash.
Yeah, nothing's gonna come out and land perfect.
You know what I mean? So like if the backlash, and don't get me wrong,
there's not 100%. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't carry 100%, does it? Nowhere. It's 99% is the max that anything's going to get anywhere. Matter of fact, 2K hasn't given Michael Jordan 100 rating since like 2000. Like they don't
Right.
do that no more. Everything's
Right. Right. And the thing is, like, I would have preferred Juno, the guy, like, I don't care about trans, I don't give a fuck about
right.
that. But like, I also don't give a fuck about it, right? Like, I don't care. Like, it's a movie, guy. Like, I don't. The
And
fact that like
talk about the part that it's based off of it's a
that
Odyssey.
part,
It's a fantasy. It's not real.
that part's ridiculous, bro. I saw,
Elon
I'm not
Musk,
saying that Grok is about to make a.
well, and we won't be watching that blotchy ass shit, dog.
Sure won't be. And then I saw that someone said give Mel Gibson 100 million to do the real historical
Yeah,
thing. He said I'll do. And it's just like historical. It's a fucking made up story.
it's literally a made up story.
I'm not understanding, guys. And I don't know, man. I just don't. That movie was a fucking fantastic movie. People always
RK, you're on my bad side now.
yeah, I just don't. It's like I said, people got gripes over the dumbest shit anymore, and you know me, I don't. I'll have a gripe over some shit, but come on, man.
Right, you don't want it to be some minute.
Yeah, like like, come on, man. We don't. First off, we don't get movies like that.
That's the
And
first.
then-
That's
that's
the first off.
that's first off.
So
This isn't
appreciate it
fucking.
when it comes around.
Yeah, this is Ed Nettie, dude. Like, this isn't a fucking dumbass movie. You know what I'm saying? If this was Scary Movie 6 and they did this, whatever, cool.
Right.
Like, bro, it's just being. I don't know. I'm not worried about that. The same thing with the Helena Troy Lupita.
Oh, her playing that. He said, and I love they went left with Helena Troy. Okay. Nobody was expecting that. She was just so beautiful. Bravo, Nolan. Is he being sarcastic?
Yes, bro.
He hated her. What did you was just about to say? What was you about to say about Helena Troy?
I was gonna say that don't bother me. Like, I mean, me personally. I've been saying this way before this, so you can attest to that. I like Lupita.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
So that that's not me coming on here saying that.
Now, who did the twin play? Didn't she ever not her literal twin, but she played another role? Didn't she play? Didn't they flash back to like her sister or something?
No, yeah, she played twins in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, you can attest that I'm not coming on here after the Odyssey saying,
No.
I like Lupita.
Been rocking with her.
Been liking Lupita. But I also agree that she's not the most beautiful girl in the world, right? Like, I mean,
come on.
I'm saying she's not the sexiest girl in the world.
Right.
Boom. Like, she's
not nothing to move countries over.
Right. I get that. You know what I mean? But like I told Shane, what I firmly believe. I think that back in them days, if a bitch took a bath, she was the sexiest girl in the world.
Now there's some truth to that. That's a conversation that niggas don't want to have.
It's the same, man. It's the same. You put back in 3,000 years ago, if Taylor Swift took a bath, motherfuckers would have been beheading motherfuckers over Taylor Swift.
Literally. I mean,
so
literally.
I just know how them old days work. We see the paintings. We literally see the paintings of them old works, and they're like, okay,
right? They're at best.
Yeah. So I mean, it's that's whatever, man. I don't let none of that shit bother me from a fucking fantastic.
If you had to be critical, I'm putting you on the spot. If you had to just be a minute critical, what would your criticism be?
I told you the other day.
I'm gonna get to that, Lane.
I told you. Didn't you say something? I said okay, but I don't think I have anything.
I can't remember what I said. I mean, I complained about the pig scene. I didn't complain about the pig scene. I said it made me uncomfortable, which is good. That's fine. That's a good thing.
That's good. First off, Nolan had like 3 or 4 elements of horror in this film that was like
big time. Now, go ahead. I didn't like his obsession comment, but
that's hate. That's because you're like obsession, which is obsession the best horror film we've seen in 10 years.
I'm rolling with the new Barney movie.
No, please. That looks horrible.
Be good.
That looks fucking horrible, bro.
You didn't see the clip, not the clip I showed you. You didn't see the other clip.
I seen the trailer of it.
It looked kind of horrifying.
What the fuck it did? That does not look fucking scary, dude. I'll let other people like I'll have to get more steam around that. Before
Okay, here's my takeaway. Everybody, y'all, they've been all on my ass, everybody out there, because I said immediately after watching, I said 8.5. I thought that they're all mad, but to me, that's a high score. First off, my scale for things I'm super critical, right? So it's rare that I really say something's a 10 out of 10, right? I reserve that. I can't even think of something that I don't even know if I've ever given anything a 10 out of 10, honestly. Yeah, that's a lie. I've given shit like a 12 out of 10. But that's just being dramatic.
But preface this with, I don't know, I think I have like close to 400 movies on the home reviewed.
Yep.
And I have 3 with a 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
So I'm not a guy who gives 10 out of 10s either. Okay.
Are you still rolling with that number?
I mean, you have to watch the review, but I'm just saying, I'm not a guy who gives. So I don't throw
them around.
Yeah, and with nines,
we won't say who, but I hate people out there that do.
I might have like 10 nines out of 4.
A 5 out of 5. This was a masterpiece. Everything can't be a masterpiece.
Everything was breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like how you.
I really hate that shit. I hate it across all mediums, whether that's music, sport. I hate when people just throw GOAT out there. Like, dogs, reserve it for shit you just never seen before.
Bro, me too. I really do.
Like, goddamn, bro. But yeah, I said 8.5. Again, I also told Lane immediately. I said I want to watch it. I need to watch it again. He claiming I slept for 30 minutes. So dramatic. I slept for literally like 3 minutes, and I didn't even sleep. And it was the scene that this is where you probably was saying okay to. I didn't really care for was it Penelope?
The beach scenes.
Yeah, I didn't care for the beach scene, the whole castaway thing. I thought that there could have been more elements. Dog, they just sat in that one spot during the castaway scenes. And if that B or C story could have been like its own kind of like, what was the movie we seen? Send Help type deal? You know what I mean? Or Castaway type deal. Like if that C, there's the A story, the B story, that little C story, if it could have had its own little type of crazy shit going on, I'd have been like, all right, cool. I got tired of just them flashing back to her and them laying on that damn beach and her feeding them that lotus flower. Did they fuck? There wasn't a sex scene. Are you paused? Damn it. I lost Hunter.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Nah, it wasn't no sex scene. He was just crushed. He just didn't know where he was at.
Okay. And again, they can't veer too much away from the story, so I understand that. I'm not blaming. This isn't my critique. And Hunter told me this a few days ago when we talked about it. He said, no, it wasn't that Tom Holland sucked. You didn't like the character. And I'm able to differentiate that, right? Because I understand this is an adaptation of a story. So again, this is not no slight at Christopher Nolan's directing. I just don't care for that part of the story.
Yeah, everybody's crying. Tom Holland was good.
Say that again. You cut
that
out.
Performance of Tom Holland was good.
Okay.
I mean, from what he was supposed to do that he wasn't supposed to be no hard ass son, or that was that's the son he was supposed to be, right? Like, but yeah, the Odyssey, man, I what a fucking film.
I still say it's a masterpiece, and I can give something. The thing with me, I can give something to 8. I think if I watch it again, it can go. It will rise higher. Something can still be a masterpiece, because I'll be trying to tell people, when you use the word masterpiece, the film or the album that you're talking about has to fit in a certain category. It has to be doing a certain something for that term to be used. Something can be a classic and not be a masterpiece. Something can be just great and the best thing you've ever seen, but not masterpiece is something different. You know what I mean? Like it means like something different's going on with a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So I still think this is a masterpiece of camera work. The what is it called where he went? the on scene that he went to each location. Like,
Big time.
I'm always a fan of shit like that. I always hate CGI. You
Yeah.
know, so there's nothing that Nolan did to me, that I didn't like. Nothing.
Yeah, did you see that picture I sent the other day of them? He got them giant men with the midgets. That's
Yeah,
how he did that
yeah,
practical
that's
effects. Like,
crazy. It's crazy. Like that attention to detail, somebody putting that much effort in and then executing, I can never hate on. Shane said Odyssey had a death wish. Oh, I'm sorry. Odysseus had a death wish, and they confirmed it when he kept saying he was afraid to go back home because I can't wait to ask you about this. Broke the codes of man, and then his dumbass goes home, gets his wife, and goes back out. Drove me the fuck crazy. Like, boy, fuck that. My thing was when I was so confused in the movie when they got past the Cyclops and then he ran back and then they got trapped for another day. And then when they got out again and he shot the fucking bow and made the Cyclops go crazy.
I love that part. I love that part.
Why? It literally enraged me.
Bro, that's what the fuck it gets.
No.
Yes.
But I do understand the story narrative is that character, Odysseus, that's what he did in the film. He had pride and different things like that's literally what happened in the book. And that was the point because it made no sense to me watching it. I'm like, now all his men got the fuck out except one, and Odysseus, one or two, I can't remember, and he came back and shot the fucking.
And she's like, "Bitch, this is for fucking my dead guys."
Nah, bitch. Man, I was pissed, man. I was pissed.
But I was pissed too because like, bitch, you what the fuck?
You got everybody people killed.
Yeah, but it's like that. Yeah,
that was his story. I mean, everywhere they went, every island, he made a grave mistake somewhere. He did something dumb he cursed the sea. I mean, just thing after thing, he was getting them in trouble.
I'll be seeing that movie in IMAX again, man. Probably next weekend. Cause I try to look at tickets all this week. Lately, I try to go after work. I literally try to go work after work tomorrow. 4:40, every seat sold out.
Yo.
Like it's crazy, bro. So hopefully next weekend or sometime next week after work at that time, like maybe like 5 o'clock or something, I'll go. And tap in again. I literally think it'll be way better. I think the ending of that movie was absolutely like the tie-in with Athena. I think the tie-in with Athena was absolutely beautiful.
Shane said, laugh my ass off. His ass had a real death wish, like for real, bro. It was literally like he was wanting to die so bad and was mad when they died and not him. Man. When she asked him if he was coming back, I really didn't think of it like that. But yeah, it's literally a death wish. When she asked him if he was coming back, he literally refused to say yeah. Yeah, that is true. It's like, bro, he like just wanted to die so fucking bad. Like, godly. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean like he really wanted to fucking die. Every fucking scene in that movie, he was wanting to die. And not suicidal, but like it was like he just kept doing self-deprecating, shoot myself in the foot shit to die.
Zeus wasn't letting him. Wasn't his role.
Yeah, so this is your early showing, obviously, for movie of the year, right?
I want to still stick with my take.
I don't remember it.
With Dune 3.
Oh no, I just mean up until this point.
Up until this point, yes.
Okay. And what? Lastly, like, what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is, and that's the thing about this movie, man. That's another thing I love about this movie. There's like 5 scenes that just rush in my head.
Indeed.
I think my favorite scene, 2 came to my head really, is obviously the end, you know, where he gets on smoke, where, you know, he comes and gets the bow and he shoots it and blah, blah. That's the turn, right? But the real one that really was that when he was crushed, bruh, when he was sitting there as the beggar talking to his wife and he was going back to the Battle of Troy, and he was showing how he was fucked up and how you know, when he killed Athena and how that it changed him. Shut the fuck up. How it changed him and how she was just like, you're only, but he was only one man. And he was just like, shit. He did it all. Like Odysseus, he led it. He was the plan. He did it all. Like, and he broke Zeus's law. And when you break Zeus's law, like
You're good as grass.
right, and it was just the score in the back, man. Shout out to Ludwig. Ludwig's a fucking legend
He really is.
already.
It's just that simple. And by the way, guys, we've been fucking with Ludwig. There's some
It's
reviews.
Gambino's guy, man. Like, stop it,
Well,
man.
talk about it.
What the
Talk
fuck?
about it.
But he's just such a legend, bro. That score was so crazy. But I mean, I love that siren scene. I mean, I love the Cyclops scene. I love those sea scenes.
The Trojan horse scene, brilliant.
The Trojan horse scene, I love that scene. I love the pig scene with Circe. I love I mean, dog, them scenes are like I love the scene where he was talking to all the dead people and like them fucking scenes are crazy, dude. So
Matt
yeah,
Damon did his thing.
Matt Damon sent a fucking blitz. Before I get off here, I do want to talk 10 minutes about the hot topic on Twitter. What have you? I know you've been seeing it.
LeBron?
Rich Paul? Yes. Huh?
Rich Paul?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We intro to it. Go ahead. I want to hear.
Oh, did you? I didn't see that part.
Please take the floor.
Oh my God. It's just would they even have a show? Like, I mean,
what's their hot button? What's the name? What's the hot button that they click every time?
So can they just let him rest?
It's kind of alarming.
I mean, God.
But it's not just that podcast, Gil's Arena. It's just the whole basketball apparatus. It's annoying. I ignore it, and I can't believe I do.
Dude, that bro,
you see Bleacher Report shit
with the defense?
Yeah, bro, the whole thing. Yes, bro, like the whole thing.
Dude,
like y'all trying to rage bait. Y'all do this with.
So now he's a better. Now he's a. So now,
bro, they put LeBron at 22. They put LeBron.
So now he's a fucking. What would they have him at 46?
42.
42.
Mike at 25. LeBron at like 22. Like dog in one.
And what he's first team.
9 times.
9 times, but he's like 12 times all time.
Yeah.
And I saw that I'm pretty sure that KG is 12 times all defense, right? And they had KG at 3.
The list is very short.
Huh. And KG's at 3. And you can't name another, like, even if you only like, okay, the only better shoot guard defender ever is like Michael Jordan. Okay, cool, whatever. Not really, but cool, whatever. Cool, whatever.
Yep.
So the only guard with number 1 and 2, and you have him at 42. It's just,
and it's just it's what me you've been on like stats. All accolades only matter to everybody except Kobe Bryant.
Right. Literally.
They usually get to him when he don't have it, but when he does have it in his favor, they
don't matter. They don't use them right. Exactly. If he doesn't have them, it's like, oh, well, MVPs. Finals MVPs.
But it's like then he has 20 all NBA, and it's like, well,
who gives a fuck? That's just like
more points than Michael Jordan, more assists than Michael Jordan, but we don't care.
But like, that's really gold, man. It's crazy. But yeah, that Rich Paul shit, man. I literally just been retweeting and liking a whole bunch of because everybody's on to it. That's what I love. Everybody is literally on to it so bad to where the jig is up with Rich Paul and LeBron. Everybody knows they use Kobe Bryant's name as rage bait. So as long as everybody else knows, I'll be all right. And I don't got to go crazy defending it. And now Stephen cut out. Oh my God, this is the second time this has happened. My laptop died. Well, this was the episode. Another stream of the Know-It-Alls. And yeah, the Odyssey. If you haven't tapped into the Odyssey, go tap into the Odyssey. Now how's he gonna leave?